First Friday. The Friday when we met. Scarlett. No offense, Scarlett, but if you didn't feel good when I invited you to come with us tonight, you should have said something. Now I feel terrible. Tessa, a girl I lived next door to in the dorms freshman and sophomore year, and remained friends with, flips her perfectly coiffed hair, eyeing up my soft sweater, the one I always wear when I'm getting over a cold, or sick, because it's cozy, oversized, and comforting. It's more appropriate for a bonfire or a night at home than a college party. And when Tessa shoots me that sympathetic face, lips turned down at the corners, eyeing me skeptically, I manage a soft laugh. Trust me, I've been home for the past few weekends. I needed this night out. 2, to be exact. Couch surfing and binging on random TV shows, consuming copious amounts of hot tea and chicken noodle soup. Are you sure? Because if you're not, I'm fine. That's why I wore the sweater. It's going to keep me toasty warm tonight so I don't catch a chill. The last thing I want is her changing her plans because of me. But that sweater... Tessa worries her bottom lip, chewing off some of the lipstick. It gets so warm inside those parties. Maybe just take the scarf off? And the jacket? Fingering the gray cable knit length around my neck, I breathe in the merino wool that's the only thing keeping my neck warm and my cough from coming back. My scarf? What's wrong with it? Nothing's wrong with it, but we're going to the baseball house, you know, on Jock Row. When she says Jock Row, her voice changes, fills with this weird wistfulness and a playful giddiness, like we're heading to some magical place. We're not. Jock Row, the off-campus housing block where student-athletes live and party. Similar to Greek Row, each sport has its own designated apartment or house, spanning an entire city block. They study together, play together, live together. Hell, they even eat together in a special cafeteria I've only heard whispers about, with super special healthy jock food. How nice for them. I remember listening to her talk about it in the dorms when we were new students. She'd babble for hours about wanting to date an athlete, explaining which ones she thought were cute, trolling them online, crushing hard, wondering what it was like to date one but never having the lady balls to go to one of their parties. Well, we have the courage now. Tessa still has the same stars in her eyes when she talks about it, still has that same breathiness in her voice. In a way, I don't blame her, because the guys on Jock Row, they aren't boys. They're a different breed of student body altogether. These boys don't compare to the guys from back home that I'm used to flirting with. The gangly juvenile boys I grew up with who went to college but still haven't matured. They are nothing like the boys of Jock Row. Not physically, not mentally. These guys, they're men with actual responsibilities and obligations. They work hard and play hard. Bigger, brawny, in peak physical condition, probably the best shape they'll ever be in their lives. Cocky, quick. I've seen them in action on the baseball field. I know the team is good, and damn, they look good too. Smell good. How do I know? I got close to one once, rooting around for a beverage at the football house one weekend a while back. A big, burly player cut me off in line at the keg, leaning over to grab the beer tap with his meaty fingers, and I accidentally caught a whiff. A long, deep whiff, one that ended with an internal that only comes when we appreciate something truly delicious. Obviously, being a warm-blooded female, I checked out his upper torso, muscular forearms, and thick neck in the process. Like every other female in the room with a set of functioning eyes had been doing. Every female, like Tessa and her roommate Cameron, who's still in their bathroom primping. I know what these two want. They're hoping to sink their hot pink talons into some unsuspecting athlete. They're older, wiser, and more confident. They're also wearing less clothes. Tonight, Tess has been prattling on about the baseball team's catcher. She bumped into him earlier this week on campus and has been social media stalking him since. Discovered that if she timed it just right, he'd be walking out of the science building at the same time she'd be walking out of the International Studies building. Guess I can't fault her. I've laid eyes on the guy a few times myself and don't blame her for fawning over him. He's dark, brooding, and extremely good-looking, plus Latino to boot. Muy caliente. Please trust me, Tessa is saying. I'm no nursing major, but I know this. If you wear that outfit to the party, you're going to have a stroke, and there won't be anyone there to revive you. You don't think there will be any pre-med students there? Poof, no. They're probably studying right now. Thank God. Saving lives takes some learn-ed learning. She doesn't get my joke. I'm serious, Scarlett. You're literally going to die if you wear that. Plus... Her sentence trails off. Blue eyes, the color of ocean breeze contact lenses, raking up and down my body for the second time, cringing when they reach my scarf. She hates my outfit, but is too sweet to tell me. Do you not like my outfit? It might be freezing outside, but it's not going to be cold inside. The house is hot, and the guys are hotter. I wrap the scarf tighter, giving her arm a gentle pat. We're walking there, and it's freezing, and I've been sick. I love you, Tess, but I'm not jeopardizing my health for one party. I forgot how caring her blue eyes could be, and I'm surprised to see her blink with all the mascara clumped on her lashes, mouth downturned. What about your sniffles? The worst of my cold is over. I fake a cough. Can we go? Otherwise, I'm going to end up reading at home. Don't do that. You've turned into such a hermit since you got your own apartment. Nerd alert, I tease, pointing a finger at myself. I just bought a new book, and I've been waiting for it to release for 9 months. 9! That's a damn eternity in romance novel years. You're lucky I dragged myself off the couch, I protest, head tilting toward their bathroom. What is taking Cameron so long? One of her hair extensions was loose. She had to add extra adhesive. Ah, I nod knowingly, as if that makes any sense. Lucky for me, Cameron chooses that moment to come sashaying down the hallway, as if she's on a fashion runway, thumbing a long strand of platinum blonde hair, curls sprayed into submission. The rest of them lie in silky waves, and I briefly wonder how she's going to walk the entire way on those 4-inch heels. Dark eyes, glossy lips, and black dress, Cam is ready to hit the row. Finally. She halts when she sees me, pointing an accusatory finger at my boots, practically hisses. You are not wearing that outfit, it's butt ugly. Tessa pipes up. Save your breath. If we make her change, she won't come out with us, and I haven't seen her in ages. Aw, you are too sweet. I wrap an arm around her slim waist, squeezing her in a side hug. I kind of missed you two weirdos. Oh, shit. They were right. I'm sweltering, and this entire outfit was a terrible idea. Why didn't they try harder to make me change into something new? I swear, Tessa is an abysmal friend. I'm dying. I'm going to have heat stroke. It's hot as Hades, the 100 bodies overcrowding the small space, creating a blasted inferno despite the freezing temperatures outdoors. I pull off my jacket, have no choice but to loosen the scarf clinging to my perspiring neck, a second skin, damp with my sweat. Jerking at the end of it with my left hand, I pull it slack, lifting it over my head, relieving myself of one round mohair loop after another, stuff the entire thing in my purse, which is more of a cumbersome tote, all the while holding a red cup in my right hand. Drinking tonight wouldn't be doing myself any favors with this cold still lingering, so it's copious amounts of water disguised as alcohol instead. And can I just say, finding a liquid in this house that isn't beer was damn near impossible. I had to leave Tessa and Cam to their own devices to scavenge the kitchen, raiding the fridge. There was a note taped to the door that said, "Off limits," But it was old and faded, and I was way too parched to care. Inside, a treasure trove of water, juice, and power beverages, even some protein shakes. Snagging 2 bottles of ice-cold water, one for now and one for later, I stuffed them into my tote, grateful I had a purse along and wondering why they don't have water at the makeshift bar in their living room. Is it stealing if the fridge was open? I meander from room to room, searching for the 2 blondes I came here with, their pretty blonde heads having gone astray in the short amount of time it took for me to find 2 water bottles. I fidget, airing myself out by tugging at the neckline of my sweater, and take a few refreshing sips of my pilfered beverage. Cold, delicious. I fan myself idly, standing off to one side of the living room, doing my best not to faint dead away. A melodramatic statement, even for me. But if I manage not to pass out from overheating, it will be a damn miracle. 3 more sweeps of the room, and I locate them near the front windows. My upper torso is so unbelievably itchy. Stupid and scorching. I'm sweaty and irritable, and, oh my freaking God, why am I freaking wearing this? I slide a finger inside the furry collar to alleviate my crawling skin, lower my body temperature, giving it yet another tug. But it's no use. I'm boiling in this godforsaken potato sack. I need the porch. No one hears my loud sigh over the music. How could they? It's turned up so loud the windows shake with the bass, floor quaking with tiny vibrations. Hating myself just a little bit, I join the girls. They're both having more fun and better luck tonight than I, cloistered in a huddle and chatting it up with 2 insanely attractive young men. Tessa is batting her lash extensions at the blonde one. He's a tall, lanky guy, his winning feature a lazy smile he's freely throwing her way. Perfect teeth. Boyish, in a way, but I can see why she's attracted to him, though my type is more rugged and rough around the edges. Someone large and strapping with a killer personality would win me over in a heartbeat. Hey guys, thought I lost you. I raise my water and take a long, refreshing drag. What did I miss? Scar, this is Derek and Ben, Tessa says, introducing us. They're both on the team. Guys, this is Scarlett. I'm sorry, which team are we talking about? I can't help teasing, just can't. The baseball team, the dark-haired guy mutters, running his brown gaze up and down my outfit. He's not entertained, not in the least, and stares at me like I'm an idiot. Huh. Can't please everyone, I guess. We were just about to take a selfie, Cameron adds. Scar, will you take it for us? She unceremoniously thrusts her phone at me, fluffing her beautiful wavy hair. I fiddle with the flash, flipping the camera toward me and sticking out my tongue before clicking away. Take a few selfies before riding the camera and getting down to the business at hand. Would you quit screwing around? Tessa prompts through clenched teeth, lips curved into a seductive smile. I can't keep my face like this much longer. You can delete those. I thumb through the pictures before turning the camera back on my friends. Well, not this one. I look adorable. Can you text it to me? I giggle. Everyone say, balls! I take another 6 photos before slapping the cell into Cameron's waiting palm. She immediately starts shuffling through them, dissecting herself in every one, huge smile plastered on her pretty face. So, it turns out you were right about the sweater. I give Tessa a bump with my hip. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to get going. Everyone stares. I'm hot and itchy, but thank God it's not a rash, haha. I'm the only one who laughs. Ben, the guy wearing a smile that doesn't reach his eyes, and a baseball cap I want to knock off his head, points a finger in my direction. Are you for real? You have no idea how hot this shirt is, buddy. I pull a long face, emphasizing my plight. Hold up my hands and mock defeat. We've been here a few hours, and I wouldn't hate it if we left. That's all I'm saying. How bad are you feeling, really? She reaches to feel my forehead. You do feel warm, but it could just be the temperature in here. Guys, we came together and we should leave together. Tessa here can't leave until she helps me with my little problem, Ben says, eyes dropping down into her cleavage. Little problem? My eyes drop unceremoniously down to the crotch of his jeans. My phone. He holds his jet black cell in front of him like an offering. Tessa's blue eyes land on the illuminated screen, her teeth raking across her bottom lip playfully. There's a problem with it. What's wrong? She asks, tilting her head. I keep searching and searching, but can't find the number I'm looking for. His big hand palms the device, thumb stroking up and down the screen. And I think he's trying to be sexy. Or something. What number? Tessa coos. You know, the number I'm missing. Did it disappear? No, baby. I'm trying to put it in here. His thumb slides up and down the flat surface, stroking idly. But is it— Oh my God, I can't take it anymore. I get it. I step forward to finish the tease he's trying his damnedest to deliver, dragging out the pickup line in a painfully slow fashion. There's a problem with his phone, Tess, because your number isn't in it. Huh. Tessa wrinkles her brow, confused, while the guy stares me down, mouth set into a hard line. I pull a face like a grade school student who's just blurted out the answer in class without raising their hand. My cheeks getting hotter. Clearing my throat, I'm too embarrassed to glance up at Ben. Tessa, it's, a pickup line. It goes like this. I lower my voice, doing my best impression of a man. There's something wrong with my phone because your name isn't in it. My head wobbles back and forth as I deliver the moronic sentence. Get it? I read it online, probably BuzzFeed. There was this whole long list of the world's shittiest pickup lines, and that one topped it. When I do happen to glance up, it's into a set of scowling eyes. Don't get mad. I awkwardly laugh, pulling at my neckline. Get better lines. Those are awful. My flirtatious giggle goes unappreciated. Oh, come on, I'm trying to help you. That was a pro tip. The guy opens his mouth. Do you not realize you're a fucking buzzkill? What the hell are you wearing? His tone is no longer friendly, no longer flirty. He's no longer interested in being a team player. I've unintentionally pissed him off by stealing his thunder. Tessa, bless her kind heart, breaks through the tension with a light-hearted laugh, giving Benny Boy a few flirtatious pats on the cheek, diverts his attention. You want my number? She sounds positively giddy. Why didn't you just say so, silly? She plucks the phone out of his hands, tapping her digits into the contacts as he shoots another distrustful glance in my direction. Looks down his nose at me. I clutch my cup tighter. It wasn't my intention to offend or piss anyone off. All I want to do is have a good time and laugh a little after being sick for so long. Is that a crime? He's certainly staring at me like it is. You know what you could do, Stacy? Derek intentionally butchers my name. I can see in his steely gaze that he's trying to belittle me, the dickhead. Run along and get yourself another beer. He's on his tiptoes, pretending to stare down into my red cup. Looks like yours is half empty. Ben nods, drinking from his cup. We'd hate for our guests to be thirsty, especially the ones who need booze the most. You're not trying to get rid of me, are you? My laugh is nervous. Us? He manages to look affronted. No, babe, I live here. It's my job to make sure everyone is having a good time, and you definitely don't seem like a good time. Haha. I catch his dig, try not to let it sting. I'm good, but thank you for the offer. I swirl the contents of my cup, peering into it with one eye closed. Besides, this isn't beer. It's water with a little lemon, and it's still pretty cold. Water? I scrunch up my nose. Yeah, I'm not really much of a drinker, and I've been sick, so is it really a smart idea to get drunk? My chin goes up a notch. I don't think so. Derek's face contorts. Where did you find water around here? The kitchen? Where in the kitchen? Is this a trick question? The fridge? His eyes narrow. We keep the fridge locked during parties. My brows rise into my hairline. You do? Yeah, so no one takes shit. Like you just did. Did you miss the big sign that says off limits? My cheeks are on fire. No way is he accusing me of stealing from the house. It's just a bottle of water from a fridge that was open. Sure, it had a lock on it, and sure, there might have been a sign, but the fridge was open nonetheless. Crap. I'm sorry, I say sincerely. I didn't realize it was supposed to be locked. It opened right up. All I had to do was fiddle with the handle a few seconds and presto, all the drinks for me. He glances down his nose at me for the second time tonight, silently judging me. Maybe instead of sucking down that stolen water, you should have a beer, or 5 cents. You seem so uptight. Ben finishes. Thanks, I'm good. I insist, pulling at my sweater, peeling it away from my scorching skin, needing room to breathe. The room seems to be getting hotter by the second. Or is it just me? Normally, guys like this wouldn't bother me. I can handle a little unease like a champ. But coupled with how warm I am and the heat these guys are throwing off, I'll admit to being more than a little uncomfortable, and not just from the sweater. Cameron pipes up then, unwittingly rescuing me, resting her hand on his meaty bicep, displayed beneath a black short-sleeve shirt. Changes the topic. Before, when you were getting water, Derek was telling us before how the baseball team won the College World Series last year. That's the World Series of baseball, but for college. My brows go up, holding back a look of disbelief. Yes, I know what the CWS is, Cameron, and Iowa didn't win it. Yes, they did, she laughs. Derek threw the winning pitch. He's seriously amazing. Scarlett, you should hear the story. She has her entire arm wrapped around his, giving him an encouraging squeeze. Tell her the story, Derek. I look at Ben, glance at Derek, back at these two naive girls, and shake my head dismayed. Literally can no longer handle their amount of bullshit. You realize these two are teasing you, right? The red cup hits my lips and I take a swig, readjusting the jacket and scarf I've been holding in my other hand. USC won the College World Series last year. They win it almost every year. The water tastes warm now, tepid at best, as it flows down my throat. How the hell would you know that, Miss Know-It-All? Ben challenges me. Miss Know-It-All? Wow, I don't think anyone has ever called me that a day in my life. My dad, he's not a huge fan of Major League Baseball, but he loves watching college ball. Loves it. I tap my chin with a forefinger. I remember last summer, he had the damn finals on for an entire week, on every TV in the house. We all had to watch that dumb game, no offense. The College World Series is in June, right? I think I'm remembering that right. When my sentence trails off, Derek jerks his head in a terse nod at Ben, crossing his arms and spreading his legs in a defensive pose. Raises his brows, nods toward the kitchen. Anyway, I chatter in an attempt to redeem myself, filling the silence with my babble. I just remember being home and my dad watching that game. The highlights would be on when I left for work, and the game would be on when I got home from work. USC won that tournament, I'm sure of it. Both Cam and Tessa are having a hard time following the conversation. Why would you say you won? I blow out a puff of air, gently tugging the sweater from my skin and giving it a few shakes to let the cooler air get in. They lied because they're trying to impress you, Tessa. Kind of ridiculous if you ask me. I mean, honestly, you guys are really good looking. You shouldn't have to make shit up. I push out a laugh. It comes out sounding strangled. Weak. So weak. I push out another one, hoping to smooth things over, hoping they'll be amused by the teasing tone of my voice and take pity on me. You're not going to stand here with us all night, are you? One of the guys asks. What else would I do? I can call one of the rookies to take you home so you don't have to keep standing here. Ben drapes his arm around Tessa's shoulders. Besides, I want to get to know your friend better, and you're making it impossible. He tilts her chin up with his thumb, staring down into her eyes. Wouldn't you like to get to know me better, babe? Tessa nods dumbly. Damn her. I swallow the lump in my throat. We'll take real good care of your friends. He tries to back away with her, but I stop him. You can walk away knowing they're in good hands, babe. Not so fast, you bullhunk. I have no doubt about that. I grip his forearm as he grins wolfishly down at Tessa. And holy shit, is it solid. Built like a tank, his forearm is a firm mass of muscle. I give my head a shake. Are you sure it's wise to go off with them? I mean, they're strangers. Strangers? What are you, fucking 5? He glares down at me. What's in that water that's making you so goddamn bitchy? Tess and Cameron volley back and forth between us, eyes wide as saucers. A little horrified, a little tipsy, a lot excited, and gorgeously clueless. I can hardly believe these two Neanderthals are turning my friends on. But they are. I can tell by the looks on both their enthralled faces. Shit. My friendship is no match for an athletic pedigree, great body, and handsome face. So I stand my ground, having nothing to lose. These girls are not leaving with me when I go. You did not just call me bitchy. No one has ever called me that, not once, and if I wasn't so pissed off, I might be embarrassed. All I'm trying to do is enjoy my night out, but these assholes are making it impossible. All because, in some sick way, they see me as ruining their chances. Don't call her bitchy, Ben, it's mean. Tessa scolds, narrowing her eyes and smacking at his arm. Her palms rest there, fingers doing a thorough pat-down of his skin. You should apologize. He rolls his neck, getting the kinks out, his big brown eyes rolling toward the ceiling. If it's not the sobriety making her act this way, it must be that butt-ugly sweater. I glance down at my beige mohair garment, affronted. I was cold, and I was sick. Aren't you fucking hot? Is that what's making you run your mouth? Yeah, I admit begrudgingly, shoulders slouching. Maybe. You should go outside then and get some fresh air. Fresh air does sound better than standing in front of these idiots, putting up with their insults. Ben casually arches a brow, and the guys exchange another glance. So damn shady. I watch as he casually eases out of the conversation and disappears into the crowd, causing Cameron's bottom lip to jut out in a pout. Arms cross, boobs rise above the low neckline of her shirt. What did you say your name was? Derek asks me. My arms cross defensively. Stacy. His face is a blank canvas, impassive, stony, and directed at me. Are you going to tell me your name again or not? Because if you don't, I'll just give you a nickname. I have a pretty good one already, right up here. He taps his skull. I make a humph sound they probably can't hear over the noise. Scarlet. His mouth curves. Sober Scarlet. Oh, so you think you're clever now, 'cause you can alliterate? I hold up my red plastic cup, not bothering to hold back the biting comment on my tongue. Got any other set of skills? I wish I didn't sound so defensive, but these guys are bringing out the worst in me. You wouldn't know what to do with my other set of skills. He chuckles, pleased with his innuendo, thinks he's being clever. Tessa must agree because the cheesy line throws her into a giggle fit. Gross, Tessa. Just, no. Get better taste in men. Honestly, what is it with these guys? Bunch of douchey jockholes congregating in one small space. The room lacks oxygen. That must be why they're acting like assholes. I smirk at my own joke, but I'm still unable to figure out why Tessa and Cam find these idiots so damn charming, especially with how rude they are. Crude and unoriginal, Ben and Derek have one modicum of sense between them. I can tell by the cold glint in Derek's eye that he's a colossal asshole and is reining it in for my friend's benefit. Never have I ever met a bigger pair of douchebags. I sigh into my water cup. What a shame. God wasted all that talent and those incredible bodies on these two creeps. Amazing bodies, average personalities. What dicks. Derek's face goes from a scowl to a megawatt smile when his buddy Ben reappears. Heads up, cockblocker, the cavalry has arrived. Cavalry? Cockblocker? I glance around. Is he talking to me? He must be drunk. From behind, I feel a large hand gently gripping my shoulder, the sizzling weight of a heavy palm, and splayed fingers reheating my upper torso. Surprised that someone is touching me from behind, my head swerves, gaze settling on a large, tan hand with square-tipped fingers covering my shoulder. Short nails, rough pads, manly. My eyes trail up, following the arm attached to that hand, travel upward, over a muscular bare forearm, lift their way to a set of wide shoulders, meet an unsettling pair of curious green eyes, a strong, straight nose, full downturned mouth, 5 o'clock shadow. The human attached to the massive paw is just as handsome as the others, not in a beautiful way like some athletes tend to be, but good-looking just the same. Add in the fact that he's the only other human here not wearing a ridiculous Halloween costume. Major points. Imposing and intense, his gaze beams down as his fingers give my shoulder a light squeeze, refocusing my attention on his face. His eyes are a diluted green, crinkled at the corners with laugh lines, like he smiles easily when he's not glowering at people. Pillow-soft lips set in an unreadable, unhappy line. He's irritated, but not in the same way his friends are. I can tell immediately that he's friendlier, but right now he definitely means business. Holy crap, is he intense. Broody. I wonder what his problem is, and why he's got my shoulder in a vice. What is it with these damn baseball guys? Why are they so grumpy? Did someone piss on their third-place trophies? My eyes widen when he dips his torso to get closer. Warm breath brushing the outer shell of my ear, leans down, broad chest grazing my back as that exquisite, pouty mouth speaks slowly into my cerebellum, reverberates down my spine.
Can you follow me for a quick second? I gotta talk to you.
I shiver, inhale. Of course I do. Because he's wearing cologne and it smells good, and I can't stop myself. It's what I do. Where do you want to talk? My eyes stray to the front door, to the staircase leading to the second floor, to the kitchen where I filched the water inside my cup and the bottle inside my bag, to the screened porch out back. Cameron watches the exchange with rapid interest, eyes wide as mine, mouth twitching. She's practically drooling, licking her lips.
Over by the front door? This won't take more than a few seconds. It's too loud near the speakers to say what I have to say.
What the hell could he possibly want? And why is he so damn handsome? I stare at the pronounced bow curving the top of his lip. God, his voice. It's deep and clear. Even with the pumping bass in the background, I can hear every syllable, the timbre sending an extra shiver of exhilaration down my spine. Just so you know, I'm fluent in karate.
Fluent in karate?
He deadpans, knowing I'm totally full of shit.
You don't say.
I slice the air with my hands for good measure. Yes, so make this quick. Warning bells go off inside my head, niggling at me. Yet I trail along, curiosity and attraction getting the best of me. What could this guy possibly want? God, what kind of idiot is persuaded so easily by a handsome face and sexy voice? Me, that's what kind of idiot. Me, I am. I want to see what this cute guy wants and what's going to come out of that pretty perfect mouth of his. What's the harm in following him to the corner of the room? I mean, it's the corner of the room. We're not going outside, and he's not taking me to one of the bedrooms. He can't try anything in a room full of people. Plus, I took self-defense last semester, so I know where to knee a man to knock his ass down. Right in the balls. Grinning, I glance over my shoulder at Derek, at Ben, roll my eyes at them both. I'll hear you out, but no funny business or I'll scream.
Funny business.
His tone is bored. Yeah, you know, assault.
Jesus, I'm not going to assault you. Could you lower your voice?
He glances around us to make sure no one heard, gauging the distance between the crowd and us.
Stay close, yeah? Yeah, whatever. I nod, giving Tessa and Cam one last sidelong glance before prancing off after the stranger. They nod enthusiastically, encouraging me, ogling him, giggling. The guy I'm following is big, bigger than the others, his presence parting the crowd like Moses at the Red Sea as we wade through, students evaporating so he can get by. Who the hell is this guy? I follow, gaze trained on his broad back. His muscles are unmistakably defined beneath his t-shirt, straining with every step he takes, every fluid movement, the cords of his neck visibly tense. He has rich brown hair, lightened by the sun at the top, the back recently trimmed, lines precise. Short on the sides, slightly longer at the top. It's a mop top I could easily imagine a girl running her fingers through. He glances back at me again when he reaches the front door, yanks the handle, pushes the screen open to the porch. I come up short. You said this would only take a few seconds. Why are we going outside?
It's loud in here,
he yells to illustrate his point, pointing to his mouth like I can read lips. I hesitate. Poise my foot on the threshold, toe off my boot on the step before striding all the way out, cool air hitting me like a welcome force. I breathe it in, then out with a sigh of relief. God, it feels so good. So, we're outside. I take the jacket out of my tote and slide both arms into it, zipping the front with a satisfying whir. And doesn't this feel amazing? I was dying in there. He studies me under the porch lights, silently crossing his arms, a beer clutched in one huge hand. No jacket, short sleeves, and a scowl. I raise one brow, waiting. He continues staring me down, wordlessly. This guy is tall. Good and tall. Legs spread slightly, bulky arms crossed defensively. What I imagine a powerful baseball player stance to be, except without the uniform or glove. I can't take it anymore. What's up? Did you see me across the room and decided I was irresistible? You just had to talk to me? Haha. Don't tell me. You can't resist a fuzzy brown sweater. I try for brave and nonchalant, but my nerves betray me and my voice quivers. His nose dips down, those brawny arms uncrossing, the cords in his forearms stretching. Clasps his hands together like two giant cymbals, the noise echoing in the quiet yard.
So I'm just going to throw it down, all right? It's nothing personal.
Nothing good comes from sentences that begin with, "It's nothing personal," which is just a generic form of, "It's not you, it's me."
It's like this, he continues. The guys decided that for the rest of the night, you're not allowed back in the house.
I'm sorry, what? My voice raises a few octaves above my normal tone. Why? His voice also goes up a few decibels.
The guys decided that for the rest of the night, you're not allowed.
I put my hand up so he'll shut his gorgeous face. Why?
What do you mean, why? Isn't it obvious?
No. If I knew, I wouldn't have been dumb enough to follow you out here, would I?
I'm not fucking around, sorry. You can't go back. You're being booted for the night.
Booted? I snort. By who?
By the guys. By me.
And who are you?
I'm their fearless leader, and the unlucky bastard that drew the short straw.
My nose crinkles like I've just swallowed a Sour Patch Kid. And what the hell is that supposed to mean?
It means you were running interference and it's driving my friends fucking nuts. They want you gone. Hope you have all your personal shit.
He smiles, eyes catching the tote bag hanging off my shoulder.
Never mind. I see you brought a giant fucking suitcase along with you.
Are you for real right now? Crap, now I sound like that asshole Derek.
Yeah, I'm like, for real.
He imitates an airhead, fake twirling an invisible lock of long hair, lobbing his head from side to side rudely. I'm not stupid. You don't have to be a jerk. But what gives you the right to
cockblocker?
I'm sorry, what?
That's what they called you, cockblocker. You should have just left well enough alone. All you did by running interference was piss off Ben and Derek.
Running interference? I was making small talk, not that those meatheads would know the difference. Without warning, he plucks the red plastic cup from my fingers, sniffing the contents with that great Greek nose of his.
What's in here? Vodka?
He inhales inside the cup again, taking a good long whiff, the way I sniffed him earlier, sticking his nose all the way in.
What the hell is this? Boring juice?
My lip twitches because the way his nose twitches is kind of cute, and I try not to smile. No, it's water.
Huh. Just water?
He looks mildly entertained, thick eyebrows raised into his hairline.
Well, now it's kind of starting to make sense.
My chin goes up a notch. Your friends are ridiculous, you know that, right? It's not my fault they can't take a joke.
Yeah, well, they've decided you're grade A pain in their ass.
He pauses, giving the yard another once-over.
Cockblocker.
His laugh is low and deep as he recalls the nickname. Please don't call me that. It's insulting, even though it doesn't surprise me.
You're messing with their game.
Their game? Do people actually still use that term? I snort, so unladylike, unable to stop the sound from coming out of my nose. Charming, I know. Your friends have no game, unless you give points for lies. They weren't impressing anyone. His laugh echoes down into the yard.
Let's face it, they were impressing your friends.
He's got me there. Tessa is too sweet for her own damn good, okay? Why am I telling him this? And Cameron just wants... I clamp my mouth shut.
Just wants to get laid?
No!
Just wants a jock notch on her bedpost?
Stop. Now you're just trying to find creative ways to say get laid. And I'm not supposed to be enjoying myself out here, damn it. I'm pissed at this guy. He literally just kicked me out of a house party. I will not allow myself to be charmed, no matter how funny he is. His shoulders shake in a quick shiver as he throws a thumb over his shoulder.
Want to tell me what it was Wilson and Fitzgerald were lying about back there?
Does it matter?
No.
But he's curious. I can see it in his eyes as he stares at me from across the porch, brow still imposingly arched. He's not entirely bored. Look, I begin, hefting my bag. The pickup lines were terrible, and I couldn't resist giving Derek shit about it, if you must know the truth. Like, the worst. If you were there, you would have done it too. I pause. Then, when they started in about the College World Series, I couldn't keep my mouth shut. His spine straightens.
What about the CWS?
They said they won it, and we all know that's a load of crap. All I did was call them on it. Sue me. It was dumb that they lied to impress my friends. His smirk comes slowly, one side of his mouth curving into an arch. It's more mischievous than sinister.
How are you so sure we didn't win?
Dude, stop. He laughs when I call him dude, Adam's apple bobbing.
The fact that you know that shit is so fucking random.
I have a baseball-obsessed father, all right? I can't help myself. I'm the son he never had. Inside my warm jacket, my shoulders move up and down in a tiny shrug. Maybe remembering weird facts is my stupid human trick. The guy's eyes stray to the window of the house, gazing through.
Look, I hate to be rude, but can you do me a favor and leave? It's cold and I'm freezing my balls off.
I will my eyes not to stray down to the front of his jeans, to his zipper, to his balls. So this is real? You're seriously kicking me out? His nod is authoritative.
Yep, this is me, seriously kicking your scrawny ass out.
I do not have a scrawny ass. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard anyone say.
Stick around long enough and it won't be.
He's laughing at himself again.
I say some pretty stupid shit.
You're kind of an asshole. My conviction is weak, so weak, and more wishful thinking than anything.
You were disturbing the peace, the natural order of things, if you will, and I've been tasked with escorting you from the premises. Don't shoot the messenger.
Escorting me from the premises. What a ridiculous thing to say. The proverbial short straw you speak of? I nod, knowingly. Oh, so wise and clever.
Exactly.
He's pleased with himself, too, leaning against the balustrade, legs so long his ass rests comfortably on top of the rail. A nervous, giddy laugh escapes my lips. I can't handle moments like this. They make me uncomfortable when I'm not prepared, and this cold weather isn't helping matters. I'm laughing like an idiot, and he's staring at me like I've lost my damn mind, and now there is no way he's going to let me back inside. Escort me from the premises, I muse, rubbing my chin. What are you, an undercover cop? I'm sassing now, turning my embarrassment into a thinly veiled joke. Except, if this is a joke, it isn't funny. Not at all. It's awkward and inconvenient, and we're out here on the porch in the cold, shivering. Locked in a battle of wills, neither one willing to bend, my teeth chattering the slightest bit. Thoughts straying from his handsome face to the warm scarf buried in my bag. I wonder how tacky it would be for me to wrap it around my neck while he stands there, shuddering every so often, covered in goosebumps. Can I at least go back inside and tell my friends you're kicking me out?
Nope. He obnoxiously pops the pea. I'm under strict orders not to let you back in.
Whose strict orders?
Mine. Why are you arguing?
One mammoth paw scratches across his stupidly sexy square jaw.
It's not helping your case.
Oh, I have a case now? I ask sarcastically with an eye roll heavenward. Is this a court of law, or have I somehow entered a special kind of purgatory? His smile widens.
If I were actually an undercover cop, I'd have you arrested for resisting an officer.
Is that a thing?
Resisting an officer? Hell yeah, it is.
He smirks, and God, is he cute. Really, really cute. Handsome. I glance down at my shoes, shuffling my feet, then out toward the street to stop myself from staring directly at his white teeth and chiseled jaw and stupid sparkling eyes. What a cliché he turned out to be. Jerk. Please, just let me run inside. I try not to beg. I'll be quick like a bunny and tell them I'm leaving?
Quick like a bunny?
He rubs his jaw, the unshaven scruff scratching.
That I might pay to see.
I bat my eyelashes, wishing I at least threw on one coat of mascara before leaving the house tonight. My face is naked and fresh, not likely to bend any guy to my will, let alone this one. Please?
Let's try this again. Are you watching my lips? Are you paying attention? Because I'm only going to say this one more time.
I nod, eyes glued to his gorgeous mouth. I'm listening.
You are not going back inside.
His eyes trek the length of my zipper, searching for the pockets at my sides.
If you have a phone tucked away in there, get it out and text your friends. See if they give a shit you're gone. Go ahead.
I will. A low chuckle.
What are you waiting for?
Why is he being like this? Doesn't he know how rude it is for me to just disappear on my friends? Under any other circumstances, I never would have walked out on them and left them inside. I stomp my foot like a petulant child, the stubborn side of me kicking in like a knee-jerk reaction. Athletes aren't the only ones with determination. I am not leaving this porch until you let me back in. He yawns in my direction, sounding bored, patting his mouth.
Why are you being so dramatic? You're worse than my 4-year-old cousin.
Because this goes against my... I search for the appropriate words. Civil rights.
This goes against your civil rights.
He deadpans dryly, lip curving.
Now you just sound crazy.
You can't kick me out.
Now you're cock-blocking me from kicking you out? Do you not see the irony here?
I narrow my eyes. Stop trying to make me laugh. It won't work.
But it's so easy.
I'm not standing out on this porch while my girlfriends are being taken advantage of inside. I'm not abandoning them.
He drones. I can guarantee you it's the other way around.
What's that supposed to mean?
You don't think those chicks inside aren't taking advantage of the situation?
He throws a thumb over his shoulders, toward the house. No, I don't think they're taking advantage of the situation. They have no clue what's going on. In fact, they probably thought you were going to hit on me and they weren't going to stand in your way.
See how easy it is to divert your attention? You're like a cute, fuzzy brown squirrel with no nut. Was that the point?
He hugs himself, moving his hands up and down his arms.
Real talk. If you don't leave this property, I'll end up babysitting you, and that's not how I want to kill time on a Friday night.
I pretend to ignore him, a knot of guilt tightening my stomach. His teeth rake over his bottom lip, back and forth, gleaming white as he studies me.
Fine. His sigh is resigned. While you stand here being stubborn, I'll be over on the stairs ignoring you while you ignore me.
Removing his cell from the back pocket of his jeans, he holds it up, thumb sliding across the screen, the glow illuminating his inconveniently attractive face. He twists his wrist in my direction, wiggling his finger in small circles.
Don't hesitate to text your friends and tell them you're leaving.
Bossy, I grumble, jealous he can so easily disregard me to play on his phone while I stew over my predicament. I'm not leaving because I'm reliable and loyal. His ears don't so much as twitch. He's not listening. 3 more minutes tick by. You're really not going to let me back in? He barely spares me a glance.
I'm really not letting you back in.
What if I promise to behave? I run 2 pinched fingers across my mouth, throw away the key. I'll be good. No running interference.
Cute.
His eyes are still fastened to his phone.
But no.
I can't be out here and leave my poor friends alone with those idiots. I pause. Oops, did I say that out loud? His head gives a slow shake. Tisks.
It's going to be a really long night if you keep doing that.
Doing what?
Begging to get back inside. It's pitiful and annoying. Text your damn friends.
I'm not begging, I'm asking. His eyes leave the screen of his phone, raking my torso up and down with a dismissive brow.
It's begging. I know what the difference is. And you're being irksome.
Damn, the fact that he just used the word irksome, kind of a huge turn-on. I thought determination was an admirable quality. I sound pitiful, even to my own ears. Surely you of all people can appreciate that.
Only when used in the right circumstances, he grumbles after a long pause. Like, say, warmer circumstances.
I root around in my brain for something intelligent to say, to gain equal footing, but end up with, if you don't let me back inside, I'm calling the cops. Ugh, why can't I just keep my mouth shut?
Be my guest, call the cops.
He takes a loud slurping sip of the beer he's been holding in his hand.
Tell them Rowdy Wade sent you.
You're impossible.
Trust me, Dollface. I've been called worse.
Oh, God, do not call me Dollface.
What should I call you then? I know you don't take kindly to cockblocker as an endearment.
I stomp my foot, frustrated. Why do you have to be so stubborn?
I'm stubborn. Okay.
He mutters, Jesus Christ, under his breath like it's an oath, the bright light from his phone illuminating his sharpening features. I backpedal. I'm sorry, I just feel helpless out here on the porch. This night isn't going anything like I planned. I haven't been to a party in forever, and I just wanted to have fun tonight, that's all.
I bet, he begins slowly, when you were in high school, you were one of those girls who used to raise their hand during class to ask the teacher for extra credit.
The so slips out, and I groan while facepalming myself.
So, no one liked those girls.
My chin hitches up a notch. I bet you were one of those jocks who barely passed their classes and cheated off of girls like me. He spreads his arms, wingspan wide, grins wickedly, his entire face lighting up.
Yet here I am with a full ride to college. Do the math on those odds.
Resigned, my body sags against the side of the house, the fabric of my jacket snagging on the wooden siding. What am I supposed to do until my friends come out? I swear he winks at me.
Again, not my problem.
Did you just wink at me? He rubs his face with the knuckle of his left hand.
No, I obviously have dust in my eye.
My head hits the house when I tip it to laugh. Liar!
Pollen?
We regard each other from our spots across the porch until he quietly asks,
Want me to walk you home?
He is so transparent. So you can get me out of here quicker? He laughs to himself, chest constricting.
Pretty much.
You're twice as big as I am. No way am I letting you walk me home in the dark. I wasn't born yesterday, and my mother didn't raise a fool, no matter how cute this guy is.
Can I point out a fun fact?
Can I stop you?
Very cute, but no.
He takes a drag from his beer.
Your friends had no problem ignoring the fact that you disappeared when I hauled you off.
Do you honestly think those jockholes inside told them I was being kicked out? No, they're blissfully unaware. Another pull from his beer.
They probably think I'm fucking you.
Jesus, blunt much? My cheeks flush. Don't flatter yourself, they know me better than that.
So you're a prude?
I squint, ignoring him. Remind me again why I followed you out here? Answer, because curiosity killed the cat, Scarlet. You followed a good-looking stranger out into the dark, and look where it got you, on the front porch in the bitter cold.
Don't beat yourself up about it. Any one of those girls would have followed me out here, too.
Oh, brother, he's modest, too. And why do you suppose that is? His broad shoulders shrug, and damn, he must be freezing his ass off.
Captain of the baseball team, handsome as fuck, funny as hell.
Wow, I don't even know how to respond to that. He gives me a tight-lipped smile.
It's a lot to take in all at once.
Cannot argue with that. It sure is, I agree with a laugh.
Can I ask you something?
He eyes me up and down from his spot on the ground.
Why are you dressed like you're taking a trip to Antarctica?
I press my lips together, part them. For your information, smartass, I've been sick. I had a cold. So what was I supposed to do, wear a bandage dress to a house party? No thanks, I'm trying to get better before the break. He holds up his bare paws.
Hey, no judgments. I can tell you're a really sensible girl. All I'm saying is, you're wearing a sweater that could double as a parka, and you're also wearing a parka.
This time I can't stop the laugh from escaping my mouth. Why, are you cold? 'Cause I'm nice and toasty. I shoot him a wide grin to rub in the fact that I'm warm and he's not.
You're an asshole, he snarks. I'm a bit nipply, no thanks to you, but I'll live.
Tell you what, let's dash inside and grab you something warm. A jacket, perhaps? I smile sweetly, fluttering my lashes. Promise I won't disappear into the crowd. His lips twitch.
I think I'll take my chances against the impending hypothermia. I can still have kids if my nutsack freezes off.
He taps away at the lit screen of his phone.
Why do you think, he asks absent-mindedly, it bothered you so bad that your friends were getting hit on, but you're not?
Is that what you think? He does a lot of shrugging, this guy.
No judgments.
My mouth drops open and I slam it closed before he looks up. I was not cock-blocking my friends because I'm jealous.
So you admit it, you were cock-blocking.
If he wasn't so damn cute, I'd be furious right now. You know that's not what I meant.
So you're bitter because you're completely sober?
I'm not completely sober.
So are you drunk?
No, of course not. I flip my ponytail.
You had beer? He's skeptical. How many?
None and a half. I use my thumb and forefinger to indicate the amount. About that much?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I can see him hiding a smile behind the glare of his phone.
You're completely sober.
I'm recovering from a cold. I fake a cough. With those perfectly white, straight teeth, he smiles at me again, and I can't even take it. He's so stupidly good-looking and getting cuter by the minute. Damn him and his magnetic personality. Look, I'm not completely delusional. I give the guy credit for not being a complete douchebag. Scale of 1 to 10 on the jockhole scale? 6. And that's only because he kicked me out.
Far be it from me to point out the obvious, but I bet you wouldn't be so uptight if you had a few drops of alcohol inside you. Might be more pleasant out here for both of us, yeah?
That's what your friends were saying, and you know my opinion of them.
You're a little uptight.
He squints over, shielding his eyes against the porch light shining in his face.
Hasn't anyone told you that before?
You know nothing about me. I reach down for the red plastic cup I abandoned a few minutes ago, so I have something to do with my hands. What would make you say I'm uptight? What's this oh-so-accurate assessment based on?
Let me count the ways,
he hums, setting his beer bottle on the step, tapping the fingers of his right hand with his left, counting.
1, I'm on this porch when I could be partying because you won't stop cock-blocking. 2, you're wearing a fucking bear rug to a party. 3, you're drinking water. 4, you admitted to asking for extra credit in high school. 5, you won't stop arguing.
The smile teasing my lips couldn't be more inconvenient. The bastard holds up his hand, wiggling 5 large fingers.
All signs point to uptight.
Fine, I can't even be mad, because that was all very accurate. I raise a finger. But first off, your buddies didn't give me a chance to redeem myself before sending over their henchmen to axe me.
And second,
the cheeky ass leans his head against the newel post, coyly pinning me down with a lazy smile. I try not to stare at the huge arms crossed over his hard chest. Secondly, your friends were lame and not at all funny. They're lucky they're athletes, because if not, they'd probably never get laid. This makes him laugh.
I seriously doubt that.
I continue ranting. Their conversation would have bored me to tears, mind-numbingly dull and unimaginative. I pause. Can you imagine what they'd be like in... I clamp my lips shut. He leans in, waiting, baiting me, prompting me to finish.
Can you imagine what they'd be like in...
He pauses, then tries again.
In...
He unfolds his giant body from the steps, rising to his full height, brushes off his jeans as if they are covered in dust.
Go on, say it.
Would you stop that? I'm not going there with you.
I just want to hear you say bed. Fuck, I must be bored if I want to play word association games. Jesus. I can fill in the blanks fine all by myself. Thank you very much. I'm a big boy.
He is a big boy. Very big. And for the first time since stepping out onto this porch, I really wonder about him. Where he's from, if we've ever crossed paths on campus. What's he majoring in? He stands over me now by a good 7 inches, lean hips resting against the white railing of the baseball house. Brown hair cut short, tan skin, no doubt from being outdoors all the time, probably on the practice field. Beautifully sculpted lips that should be permanently pressed against someone's mouth. So pouty and defined. His arms. Who is this guy? Curiously, because he seems to be inviting it, my eyes settle on those arms, peruse his wide shoulders, and the muscular deltoids emphasized by his thin compression shirt, the bulge of his biceps and pec muscles, the tips of his nipples hardened from the weather. If he has an issue with me ogling, he doesn't mention it or call me out, instead doing a brisk assessment of his own. Though, admittedly, he won't find much on me to look at with my puffy jacket concealing most of my body. Brown half boots, black leggings, thick, chunky sweater, and the coat covering it all. His green eyes flicker where my breasts are positioned, pausing before migrating up to my face and touching my lips, nose, and hair. My long dark hair is pulled back tight into a conservative, practical ponytail, almost at the top of my head. More functional for tonight than attractive. Boring, one might suppose. My cheeks get hot as he stares me down. I feel my chest getting blotchy too, though he couldn't possibly see it. Still, I smile.
Rowdy. Jesus Christ. She has a dimple in her damn cheek. I'm a sucker for those. She shoots me a tentative smile, ass parked on the stoop, back propped against the wooden siding of the house. It's obvious that she's blushing by the way she ducks her head, glancing down at the floor, the soft glow from the 2 dilapidated lamps illuminating the crown of her head. The porch lights are busted and rusty, needing their bulbs changed, one flickering, the other just about to burn out. It makes the entire place look like a goddamn carnival funhouse, casting a weird glow on the girl's smooth, pale skin and her pretty dimple. Stop staring at it, dipshit. I cast my glance at her outfit, doing my best to analyze her under the dim lights. She must have been sweaty inside the house. I got a good look at her before convincing her to follow me, but I still study her as if seeing her for the first time. Both of her boots are tucked under her legs, and she sits cross-legged on the ground. Blows out a frustrated puff of air that translates into a billowing stream of steam. So, she wraps her puffy-sleeved arms around her knees, hugging them tight, shivers. Now what? Her prim ponytail is jaunty, bobbing when she tilts her head to gaze over at me. Now I babysit you. Lovely, we can bond. I position my large body against the railing, giving it a gentle shake to make sure it's sturdy before resting all my weight on it. It's solid and secure, and is going to get real uncomfortable real fucking fast if I have to stand here all night. The girl raises her brows at me. They appear black in this light, brows full and arched expertly. Have you babysat anyone before? No one I managed to keep alive, I joke. A few cousins my parents forced me to watch a few times. Never would feed them, but would occasionally throw out a dog bone so they wouldn't get hungry. She smiles, dimple denting the smooth right side of her face. Is that what you have planned for me? I raise my empty hands. I'm fresh out of Scooby snacks. Guess we'll both have to starve. Sorry you have to sit out here. Really? I sound hopeful. No one is forcing you to sit out here. Her light laugh is quiet. Fine. I guess I'm not that sorry. She bites down on her lower lip. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't enjoying your discomfort just a little bit. Gee, thanks. No one has texted me back yet, by the way. Shocker. Your friends haven't texted you back. Nope. She pops the P the same way I did before. Not yet, but I'm sure they will. Nice friends, I mumble just loud enough for her to hear. They actually are, she counters. Give them a break, would you? They're just excited to be here. They let her follow a strange dude outside and she wants me to cut them some slack? Okay. They're just friends or also roommates? Just friends from freshman dorm life? Ah. I don't point out the fact that only a cleat chaser would leave her friend hanging for the chance to snag some baseball cock. What are the odds they're going to cut the evening short and come looking for you? On a scale of 1 to 10? Sure. 2? Her laugh comes easy. Those are terrible odds. Don't I know it? Her sigh isn't loud, but it's heavy. Conflicted. I'm not going to fault them for staying inside, would you? It's not worth getting pissed about, so. You don't think they're going to make bad choices without you guard-dogging them? Oh, I know for a fact they're going to make bad choices. She laughs again, softly, emitting a little humming sound as I throw back my head and laugh too, the frigid weather racking my body harder than what's normal. I have goosebumps covering my arms and chest. My nipples could cut glass. The simple fact that her friends haven't come outside to check on this chick speaks volumes about their character. But that's not something I'm going to voice out loud if she wants to turn a blind eye to it. It's none of my business. And this girl sitting across from me has taken enough hits tonight without me pointing out how craptastic her friends actually are. I mean, they're leaving her outside for the chance to get banged by an athlete. Who does that? Let's face it, whatever happens with Derek or Ben or anyone from the team, it won't lead to anything but the morning after walk of shame. If this girl is waiting for her friends to reappear, she'd best be in it for the long haul, which means I'm stuck out here freezing my dick off. How long do you think you'll last before giving up? I guess when I start getting cold? That too has me laughing like a maniac. The balls on this chick. You're not cold? What are you, made of stone? Because my nuts are shriveling inside my jeans like 2 raisins about to fall off the vine. Her head cocks to one side. I mean, this sweater is really warm. And I have this nifty scarf in my bag if you want to borrow it. Hard pass. When I rub my bare biceps vigorously to warm them up, her eyes follow the motion up and down. And who would blame her? My guns are huge. I flex once for good measure, and to get a reaction. It works. Her eyes move along my torso, lingering on the front of my shirt. You really should have planned better. It's cold out. Why are you wearing short sleeves anyway? I knew it would be hot inside, and I wasn't planning on squatting on the damn porch all night like a hobo. Still, she hedges, it's practically winter. Thanks. I finally got the memo. Layers, at least. My green eyes narrow at her, just the slightest bit. Are you always like this? Like what? Such a pain in the ass? Am I a pain in the ass? There goes that damn dimple. I guess it depends on who you ask. Tonight's probably not a good night to take a poll. A ping fills the air, and she reaches for the cell lying next to her knees, lifts it, and taps the screen. Smiles, satisfied. They'll be out in 10 minutes. The phone gets set back down after she taps out a reply. Rests her back against the wall, smiling. I knew they wouldn't leave me out here all night. Liar. You did not. This laugh is lilting. You're right. I was starting to get worried. She stands 15 minutes later when her friends come stumbling out the door, brushing off her legs and ass, stretches and holds out her hand to help me off the ground, which is so fucking ridiculous because she's tiny and petite and I tower over her by almost an entire foot. Nonetheless, I slide my hand into hers when she offers it, letting our palms sizzle from the contact. Zap. Standing on my own, without her assistance, clasping her hand, I rise to my full height. Thank you. She lingers a few seconds, glancing at her friends, now down in the yard, stumbling heels already clicking over the concrete of the sidewalk. I release her hand, stuffing mine into the pocket of my jeans. Flex the fingers of my tingling flesh. Don't be such a pain in the ass next time. I'll try. She starts down the staircase, ponytail swinging in the breeze, glances back once, over her shoulder, and winks.
Second Friday. The Friday where the real games begin. Scarlett. Me. Hey Tess, you guys hitting Jock Row tonight? Too desperate sounding? I delete the message, bite down on my bottom lip, and start the message over, trying not to sound obvious, like I'm fishing for an invitation to go out with them again. Which I am. Me. What are you and Cam up to tonight? Tessa. We're hitting Jock Row. Cameron is still totally into that Derek guy, even though he was kind of an asshole to you last weekend. Sorry about that. Kind of an asshole is kind of an understatement, but I let the comment slide. Tess has apologized a few times, even though none of it was her fault. Me. I was thinking maybe I hit send, even though I haven't finished the sentence. Damn it. How do I tell her I want to go back to the house, even though they kicked me out last weekend? She spares me from asking. Tessa. You want to come with us? It would be so fun. My stomach betrays my best intention to remain calm, rolling with anticipation. Me. Would that be weird, seeing as how they were calling me cockblocker and made me stay on the porch? Tessa. I don't think so. Those parties are so fun and there are cute guys everywhere. Me. There sure are. But there's only one I'm interested in seeing tonight. Tessa. Are you willing to take the chance that they're not going to let you in? Yes. All week, all I've been thinking about is the guy on the porch. Rowdy, as I noticed he called himself. All week long, I've looked for him on campus. In the quad and in the cafeteria. The library the one night I went to study. Stared a little too long at the entrance of the workout facility hoping for a glimpse. All week long, I've been looking forward to Friday. Me. The porch wasn't the worst.
Tessa. If I had to stand outside with that hot guy, I'd go back too. Like, twist my arm, why don't you? Ha ha.
Me. So you don't think it's insane if I go back? I won't look desperate?
Tessa. You're the only sane one between the three of us, Scarlett. Of course you should come. But maybe…
Me.
Maybe what?
Tessa.
Maybe dress warm? Just in case, if you know what I mean. LOL.
Me.
Tessa! LOL, do you really think they'll keep me outside again?
Tessa.
Do you care? Will it matter?
No, it wouldn't matter if I had to stand outside again. That boy is worth the cold and suffering. But God, the thought does make me nervous. Me. I want to see him. There, I admitted it.
Tessa. All right, then we'll make ourselves scarce when we get there. Deal?
Me.
Deal.
Me. You know, I'm still a little bitter you and Cameron fell for every one of their dumb lies. You can do way better than those two jockholes.
Tessa. Try telling that to Cameron. She's been creeping on Derek since last Friday night. I swear, her fingers are going to fall off from all the Insta-stalking.
Me. All right, I know it's crazy, but I'm coming tonight.
Tessa. Well, it's not like you had anything else going on, right?
Me. Hashtag real talk.
Tessa. There are worse things in the world than being stranded on a front porch with a total hottie. Preach, hands emoji.
Rowdy. Rowdy. A hand claps down on my shoulder with a jostle, prompting me to turn. Hey, man, the guys wanted me to come get you. What do you want, Keats? Spit it out. The rookie freshman stutters when I pin him with a hard stare for interrupting my conversation with the guy from the rugby team. That girl is back. I stand a bit taller, yank at the hem of my shirt, trying to smooth out the wrinkles. Which girl? I know exactly who he's referring to. They're going to have to be more specific. Ben called her cockblocker. Well? I crane my neck, height easily affording me a bird's-eye view of the crowded room, scanning for any signs of the girl with the glossy ponytail and the dimple in her cheek. Where the hell is she? Tony Keats gives a jerky nod toward the foyer. Porch. The guy stalled her outside in case she wasn't allowed back in tonight. No one knew what you'd want us to do. His hands jam inside his pockets. Her friends are flirting with Brinkman. Brinkman? Brinkman is a sophomore and a total douchebag who loves attention from girls, guys, and anyone with a pulse. I hate that he made the team and that our coach signed him. But we're stuck with him. Girls love him, and he's a fucking fantastic outfielder. Kid might have a 38-inch vertical, but the tidy package includes a few STDs. Brinkman, huh? I thought the blonde one had a boner for Derek. They're both blonde, Keats points out. But you know, chicks love Brinkman, and he's probably their best chance at getting laid tonight. No one wants to hit it with cockblocker's friends after last weekend. Heat spreads through my chest as I scratch behind my ear, taking a swig from my beer bottle as Tony runs his loose mouth beside me. Girls are like stray cats, man. You let one in, give them some milk, and they keep coming back. We're the milk, by the way, in case you hadn't figured it out. I get the analogy, Tone. Thanks. I clap him on the back, chug the remainder of my beer, and set it on the closest surface. Wipe the condensation from the bottle on the leg of my pants. All right, give me a few. I'm going outside to figure this shit out. We bump knuckles. Run upstairs, would you? And bring my damn jacket from Amato's room. I won't lie. My heart rate quickens when I push through the front door of the baseball house. The girl is indeed on the porch, back against a support beam, hanging back as her friends cluster around Jonathan Brinkman. She's barely recognizable. It's cold tonight, and she's dressed for the occasion, in jeans, a jacket, and dark gray knit cap pulled down over her long, dark hair. It's the kind of knit hat you'd wear skiing or sledding, or on a trip to the frozen fucking tundra, or when you think you might be spending an entire night on a cold porch. She's casual, leaning on the railing. Not one bit of surprise marring her expression when I push through the screen door, stepping down onto the floorboards of the porch. My mouth, goddammit, stretches into a toothy grin when we lock eyes, her brows rising beneath her warm hat. They wiggle in my direction as she raises two hands, covered in mittens, sending me a small, hopeful wave. She's cheeky, this one. I acknowledge Brinkman with a fist bump, and Cockblocker's friends light up when they see me. Two pair of eyes alive with interest and overenthusiasm. Possibly because I'm fresh meat to sink their cleat-chasing claws into. I shrug it off. I'm not out here for them. I tip my chin up at the girl. Nice coat. Looks nice and insulated. Warmer than last weekend's attire. Indeed it is. I dug deep into my closet for this one. You know, just in case. The trio on the porch with us chose that moment to make their escape. Brinkman and the two blondes pushed through the screen door to the house without stopping, without looking back, without checking to see if their friend is following behind them. I see you didn't take my advice. She flickers her gaze over my chest, brows raised. Where is your jacket? It's coming. Really? Yeah. I had it ordered up when they came and told me you were here. Ordered up? What does that mean? I smirk arrogantly. I'm having someone fetch it. You are not. She's about to smirk too, but the grin is wiped off her face when, as if on cue, Tony Keats abruptly bangs through the door, thrusting my jacket into my outstretched hand. My fingers close around it. My arms shrug into it. Thumbs hook into the pockets, and I jut my hip out, posing. Cocky. Boom. Jacket. Her mouth opens, closes. Wow. That was awesome. Amazing. I spin on my heels in a full circle for emphasis, as if she needs more evidence that I'm a badass. Yes. She's laughing now, tugging at her hat, pulling it down over her ears. Sure, that's one way of putting it. She takes a few hesitant steps forward. Destination, the door behind me. Whoa, 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 not so hasty, I tisk, raising my arm, preventing her from moving toward the door, almost clotheslining her in the process. Arm grazing against the scratchy fabric of her coat. Where do you think you're going? She drags her eyes up and down my body before casting a guilty glance down into the dark yard. Gulps. That's right. Take a good look at where you're spending another night. My hands go wide, panning around the porch, because we're going to spend another night outside. What the hell's wrong with me? Let her in, for fuck's sake. We are? Yeah. All signs point to, you can't go back inside. Liar. They're really not going to let me in? Yeah, they would, but you don't need to know that. Oh. Her voice is small. I was kind of hoping. Tonight's not your night, babe. Too many people inside. Shut the fuck up, Rowdy. Why are you doing this? Just let her inside so you don't have to stand out here with her. Give her what she wants. She came to party. She didn't come to stand on the fucking porch with you. But what if she did? She didn't. She hasn't hit on you once. Shut the fuck up, idiot. Jesus Christ, now I'm arguing with myself. I'm really sorry, Cockblocker. It's been decided. By me, because I'm a selfish asshole. Her arms brush my chest when she crosses them. She's standing closer, her chin raised rather indignantly. If we're going to stand out here, could you not call me Cockblocker? You and I both know it's degrading. She's right. Calling her Cockblocker is demeaning, but suddenly I'm an 8-year-old boy on the playground who doesn't know how to conduct himself in front of a cute girl. I'm 4 seconds from pulling at her hair. Not to mention, if my mother heard me calling her Cockblocker, she'd metaphorically kick my ass straight into next week. Sorry. I swallow. There are rules you have to follow if you're going to stand on this porch with me, and not being a sass is one of them. Then it's going to be a really long night for both of us. Her mouth puckers. You know how athletes love their rules and playbooks. She crosses her arms, setting her bag on the floor. Actually, I don't. My arm extends, resting on the door jamb and creating a barricade. We create rules as we go, and the porch-dwelling addendum is new, created special, just for you. I sound so fucking stupid. Her eyes are brighter tonight, a black coat of mascara on her top lashes. Why are you doing this to me? Her voice is almost a whisper, and for a brief second I feel like a real fucking prick. But that fucking dimple makes an appearance, and all my best intentions to behave fly out the window. Shit, who am I trying to kid? I have no best intentions. Why are you doing this? You had to have known you weren't coming inside. You wore a hat with your coat tonight. You literally look like you're going skiing. Her arms raise, finger pointing into the living room her friends just disappeared into, exasperated. But you let my friends inside? It's been decided by the council. You cannot come back inside. Who's the council? Me. That's a well-guarded secret. God, you are so exasperating. Ooh, exasperating, good word. Thank you. I can't go back. Ever? Her eyes get wide. A terse jerk of my head. We'll see. You're going to make me stand on the porch tonight, while my friends stay inside. I cross my arms. I can't make you do anything, can I? Her lips blow out a frustrated puff of air, sending a few loose strands wisping around her face. Be honest, don't you think this is kind of ridiculous? Yeah, but I keep that shit to myself, because tonight, when I saw her, I decided to be selfish with her time, to stand out here and try to make her laugh just so I can make that dimple appear in her cheek. Not that my friends would have been ecstatic to see her. She would have a shit time inside since Wilson and Fitzgerald are still 10 shades of piss, the fucking tit babies. Bros before hoes and all that sexist bullshit. At least, that's what I'll be telling myself later when I'm staring up at the ceiling above my bed, thinking about that little dent in her cheek, same as I've done every damn night this past week. Honestly, we here at the baseball house do our best to be as difficult as possible. Haven't I been punished enough? Don't consider it a punishment. Consider it banishment on a case-by-case basis. I snap my fingers. Oh, like you've been voted off the island of hornball dudes who want to get laid. Really? She rolls her eyes, backing away a few steps. That's what you'd name your island? I laugh. If it were my island, it would be something way cooler, like Rowdy's Tropical Hideaway. So that really is your name? Yes, that really is my name. Your name is Rowdy? She repeats it, and I can't help but be slightly insulted by her tone. I spread my arms wide. In the flesh. Huh, interesting. Her hands go to the hat pulled down over her forehead, giving it a little tug upward to afford herself a better view of me. I return the favor, giving my greedy eyes permission to wander the length of the hair peeking out from beneath her knit winter beanie. It's longer than it looked pulled into a ponytail last weekend, and a dark shade of chocolate brown. When she tilts her head, catches me staring, I refocus my attention to the yard, feigning interest in the cars parked at the curb. What about you? What about me? Is she being coy on purpose? Do you have a name? Of course I have a name. So it's going to be like that, huh? Her pretty pink lips smirk. Yeah, it's like that. Mind if I take a guess? Shrug. Be my guest. Helga. Her brows shoot up. That's your guess? Rudy. Seriously, you're such an asshole. She laughs, eyes doing a sparkly little dance as she watches me. Do I look like my name is Rudy? Rudy, jeez. I shrug. Prudence. I hate you so hard right now. She laughs again. My name is Scarlet. Scarlet. Scarlet red. Scarlet fever. Huh. Never would have guessed. An ironic expression is pasted on her face. No shit, Sherlock. Scarlet. I slide the zipper of my jacket up and down to give my hands a chore, glancing at her on the sly. Why do you suppose, Scarlet? I ask slowly, testing out her name, hands burrowing in my pockets. That your friends keep abandoning you for Dick. Her mouth twists into a bemused smile. I don't know, Rowdy. Why do you think all women want from you and your friends is Dick? Holy shit, this girl and her mouth. If you're referring to our lack of personalities, I take offense. Scarlet sighs. I can't even be mad at you right now. I don't want you to be mad. I'm just making conversation. I shrug. It's your friends who are groupies, not you. My friends aren't groupies. Her brows go up. But it sounds like it's bothering you way more than it's bothering me. I do not understand girls. I prod her. Admit that's what they are. Tell Uncle Rowdy your friends are gold diggers and we'll get along just fine. The little burst of laughter is airy, kind of sweet, and has me puffing out my chest. I did that. She thinks I'm funny. Most girls just see my face, the body, the uniform. Are you always this tenacious? You will not quit, will you? Being a gold digger isn't always a bad thing, Scarlet. I know that, Rowdy. She all but rolls her eyes toward the dark sky above. But trust me, sometimes it has nothing to do with the fact that they play sports. Have you seen your friends? I mean, they're good-looking. Some of them are so fracking hot. I stomp down a flare-up of jealousy. So good-looking, she goes on. Simply cannot stress enough how damn good-looking my friends are, and now my ass cheeks are puckering. A girl would have to be blind not to notice. And I'm not? I swear to fucking God, my nostrils flare. What the hell is wrong with me? Whatever reply she has on the tip of her tongue is fleeting, gone within a heartbeat, and replaced with a simple, you know you are. My chest inflates inside my jacket. Besides, she goes on, it's not a crime to have a type. That doesn't make them groupies, right? Or gold diggers. They just gravitate toward buff, amazingly hot guys. No, it's not a crime to have a type. I can't believe I'm arguing about this stupid shit with her. But the fact that they're hanging out here, at this house specifically, when there are plenty of other house parties on campus, makes them cleat chasers, hot dudes or not. I damn near choke on those last words. Scarlet tilts her head at me, knit cap concealing the brows I know are being raised in my direction. I want to whip that hat off and see what's underneath. What the exact shade of her hair is. Are you always this sure of yourself? I jerk out a decisive nod. I've been playing at this for 3 years. I know the drill. Her next question surprises the shit out of me, like a casual bomb dropped in my lap. What about you? How many cleat chasers have you let past third base? It detonates, as it was intended to. Ouch! I grab my upper bicep. Scarlet, that dig hurt me a little. She smirks, chuckling to herself, feeling sassy. Ha! That's what I thought. So judgmental, yet so hypocritical. Which guys are they panting over tonight? I don't know. Her shoulders slump. That same asshole Derek and somebody Tessa found on IG. Oh, and one of the outfielders we met on the porch. Bingman, Brinkman, and Wilson. Man, her friends have shit-tastic taste in men if they're chasing those twats around. Brinkman has no standards. His favorite conquests are desperate band geeks, sorority girls with dark hair, and teacher's aides, which is way too fucking specific if you ask me. I know on our walk over last Friday, Cameron threw your name around quite a bit. I think she's... Scarlet chooses her next words carefully. Kind of envious that I'm out here with you. I all but snort. I'm not dumb enough to date girls like that. When we left, she goes on, they were talking so much shit about what an asshole you are. Stop. I wave a hand at her, demurring. Now you're making me blush. Her laughter keeps coming easy tonight, and louder, steam rising from her lips with every giggle. Fucking delightful is what it is. You're definitely too hot, I interrupt, battering her with adjectives. Magnificent, insanely talented. Not humble, that's for sure. If she rolls her eyes any farther into her head, they'll get stuck in her skull. Unattainable? They think they'll have better luck with someone less. She waves a hand in the air, searching for the adjectives. Sexy, talented, mind-blowing. Would you please stop interrupting? You really are the worst. I'm right, though, aren't I? They're after smaller fish, knowing they'll have a better chance at snagging one. Maybe. Well, they're right. Those girls have zero chance with me and every chance with someone else. You can tell them not to bother next time my name comes up. She buries her hands in the pockets of her warm jacket, tugging at her mittens. Trust me, they are not here for you. I make a humming sound, unconvinced. Girls like the ones she came here with, they don't give up easy, and they don't play fair. Prime example, Scarlett being marooned on the porch, alone, despite the fact that it was by design. You want something to drink? I walked the few feet to the cooler I had Keats place by the door so we'd have refreshments on the off chance she came back. Unhook the latch with my foot like a Neanderthal, reach down and produce a bottle. Beer? Water? You brought me water. Well, I didn't want us, you, to die from thirst. Not on my watch. That was really... I point a finger at her. Don't you fucking dare say nice, and don't get used to it. I'm not running a home for stray cats here. Her eyes widen. Stray cats? Shit. Damn Keats and his crap analogies. Never mind. I grab a water for myself, twisting the tops off 2 bottles and handing one to Scarlett. She swipes it in her mitten-clad paw, sucking the first drops eagerly. It tastes so good. Beneath the dim light of the porch, she offers me a smile, biting down on her lower lip. I didn't know I needed this. I take a long drag of my own to occupy myself, chugging down half the bottle in one gulp. Wipe my mouth, leaning against the house, letting the silence fill the space. So, I smack my lips. So, she smacks hers. Do you think this is boring? I muse after a few long seconds of silence. We've only been out here 20 minutes. We could play a game if you want. Scarlett studies me, mimicking my pose as she takes a position against the porch balustrade, crosses her legs at the ankles, ass balanced on the rails. Want to play Never Have I Ever? Isn't that a drinking game? I think so, but we're not drinking. You want to play the game or sit here bored out of your mind? Fine, but you start. You have to take a drink if you have done the thing, even though we're not drinking alcohol. Thanks, wise ass. I know how to play Never Have I Ever. Can I just point out one fatal flaw with this whole thing? Pretty soon you're going to have to take a piss, and it'll have to be in the yard. She nibbles her bottom lip, squinting down at the overgrown bushes. Damn, good point. I guess if I have to pee, I'll deal with it. She cranes her neck, staring off into the dark. It's not like I've never had to pee outside before. Suit yourself. I've seen guys peeing off this very porch, so it wouldn't be a big deal. I get the party started. Never have I ever peed outside. We both sip from our bottles. She clears her throat. Never have I ever gone skinny dipping. Neither of us drink. Really? Scarlett is clearly astonished by this revelation. You've never gone in the water buck naked? Why does that surprise me? The answer seems obvious, but I enlighten her anyway. Not a fan of public shrinkage. Her laugh fills the yard, head tipped back, mouth smiling. Fair enough. I stare at her dimple, long and hard, before blowing a puff of air into the night sky. Never have I ever made out with a stranger. I take a drink. Scarlett does not. You've never kissed a stranger? Not even drunk at the bar making out? I thought everyone has done that. Negative, Ghost Rider? She thinks for a few seconds. Never have I ever wet the bed. I groan out loud. Take a chug of my water bottle as my stomach growls. Scarlett laughs, the sound echoing in the cold night air. Do not tell me you were a bedwetter. No, Jesus, keep your voice down. I glance around to make sure the few stragglers aren't listening. I mean, I might have had a few accidents as a kid. Just as a kid? Fine, my lip purses. I may or may not have gotten too hammered once or twice and pissed myself in recent years, but that's hardly the same thing. She laughs again, hitting her head against the support beam holding up the porch with a wince. Ouch! She giggles, rubbing the spot through her hat with a few fingers. You okay? I stop myself from reaching out, touching her leg. Yeah, I'm fine. Her mouth is still grinning. Your turn. I hum. Never have I ever. I tap on the floorboard. Never have I ever gone commando. Surprisingly, we both drink. Huh. Now you're telling me you walk around with no underwear on? Her shoulders rise and fall within her jacket. Sure. All the time. That's a fun tidbit of information I latch onto, filing it away in my spank bank under cute shit Scarlett does. Never have I ever caught my parents having sex. We both laugh, drinking, and Scarlett cringes at a thought, musing. I don't even want to visualize it. I was 12 and I had friends over and everyone heard them doing it. Can you imagine the horror? It was so loud and so terrible hearing my father grunting like, couldn't they have waited? She physically shudders. My friend Nicole still brings it up to this day. I walked in on mine once on a Sunday morning. I'll never fucking forget it. I think I was 14 and wanted pancakes. Now my parents refer to having sex as making breakfast. I shudder too, dramatically, at the visual of my father pounding my mother doggy style. Can we please change the subject? Okay. Never have I ever ridden a mechanical bull. I pause, bottle poised at my mouth. That is so random. But have you done it? Have you? My brows rise when Scarlett takes a drink from her cup, wiggling her brows. Really? When? My tone tells her to prove it. At the county fair. My friends bet me $20 I couldn't ride it for 8 seconds. They had the carnival guy crank up the dials on that stupid thing. I thought I was going to die. She pretends to flip her hair. Piece of cake. I stare at her, dumbfounded and a little bit turned on. I'm having a hard time picturing you riding the mechanical bull at the county fair. Why? I just am. My stomach grumbles again, loud enough that Scarlett overhears it complaining. God damn it, I'm getting hungry. Do you always complain about it? Yes. I shoot her my most menacing, hangry look. I have to consume a shit ton of calories per day to maintain this physique. I realize how conceited I sound, but it's true. This body takes a ton of work, and it's not always a walk in the park sustaining it. Want to hand me my bag? Scarlett points to the black bag she dumped on the ground earlier, lying limply on the porch near the door. I give it a shove in her direction with my foot. She ignores the rudeness of my gesture, losing an entire arm as she digs through it. Lucky for you, I happen to have a few snacks with me. This perks my stomach up considerably as I pat it with the palm of my hand. There, it's going to be okay, pal. The nice lady brought snacks. What are you hungry for? I have granola, protein bars, a bag of pretzels, and those hazelnut dipping stick things. Scarlett continues rooting around. And 1 pack of fruit snacks shaped like Scooby-Doo. My eyes get wide. You're turning me on. My preparedness is turning you on? You're so weird. She produces the promised protein bars, extending 2 in my direction, giving them an appealing little shake. Enticing. Chocolate chip or oatmeal raisin, take your pick. Both? I extend a palm and wiggle my fingers like I'm about to pick up a baby because she brought the good shit, bars with actual protein. Come to daddy. We both bend forward far enough to meet halfway. Far enough that Scarlett can slap the bars in my open palm, then rifle through her bag again. I think that's all I have for protein bars. No, don't worry about it. These are awesome. Thank you. She stops. Laughs. Oh my God. I almost just thanked you for staying outside with me. As I'm tearing open the silver wrapper on protein bar number 1, I glance over. For the record, this isn't ruining my night, Scarlett. These parties are so fucking played out. Jamming half the oatmeal raisin bar in my mouth, I bite down, chew, swallow. Why did you come tonight if you thought you'd be sitting outside? I didn't have anything going on and thought maybe... Her bottom lip juts out. Thought maybe I'd wear you down with my sparkling personality and charm. Little does she fucking know we're outside because I think she's pretty and it's too hard to talk inside with all the noise. So you keep saying. I shoot her a cursory glance, eyes on her mid-length puffy coat, knit winter hat, mittens. No offense. You don't really look like you came dressed for a party. She rips open a pack of fruit snacks, package crinkling, popping a red one in her mouth. I'm also a realist, Rowdy. I didn't want to freeze my ass off if the answer was still no bueno. Silently, we chew in tandem, legs extended in front of us. Her head rests against the house, eyes sliding closed when she swallows her first bite. I love these stupid things. They're so bad for you. In goes an orange one. Never have I ever taken food out of a trash can and eaten it, I announce, taking a chug out of my water bottle like the total badass I am. Stop it right now. You have not. I have, I boast proudly. I was starving and I was with a few buddies and we were walking past a really nice restaurant. Technically, we were walking in an alley past their dumpsters. That is so gross. Your mouth has been in the trash. What the hell did you eat? Pasta with meatballs from inside a doggy bag. I chuckle. We were in the city and it had just been thrown out, so I figured it was clean. Rowdy, that's disgusting. When she leans forward and taps me on the leg of my pants, chastising, my entire body goes rigid, calf burning where she poked at it with the tips of her fingers. It was still warm. Clearly I didn't die from it, so how bad could it have been? I protest. Plus, it had just the right amount of Parmesan sprinkled on top. I pinch my fingers, sprinkling imaginary cheese onto an imaginary platter of spaghetti. Scarlett plays footsies with me, urging me to quit talking about it. I'm going to gag. Knock it off. Our loud laughter carries into the yard, causing the few people gathered by the road to glance up at the house. I chomp down the last of the oatmeal bar and rip open the second one. Chew. Okay, Brainiac. Swallow. Here's one for you. Never have I ever cheated on a test. Her pert nose wrinkles. Why would you assume I'm a brainiac? 'Cause you're the girl in class who wants extra credit? You would latch onto that fact. But the truth is, I always needed extra credit because my grades were just okay. Not because I loved the extra work. Let's get real here. Really? Really. And for your information, yes, I've cheated on a test. She takes a drink from her bottle. It was in high school and it was a take-home algebra exam. We weren't allowed to use calculators or get help. But during study hall, a few of us worked on it together and I got busted. She pops the fruit snack in her mouth. God, I am so bad at math. I've never cheated on a test, unless you count the road test to get my driver's license. How can you cheat on the road test? By flirting with the examiner? Under the dim light, beneath the winter cap, her eyes widen. Guy or girl? Guy. I grin shamelessly. Was he cute? A laugh escapes my lips. Yeah. Have you ever flirted to get out of a speeding ticket? No. Now she's the one smiling. I have. Her grin widens. I was home one weekend, driving my dad's car and got pulled over coming home from a dinner with some friends. I recognized the cop as someone from high school, a guy a few years older who had just become an officer. So, she shrugs, I might have unbuttoned my shirt a little while he was running the plates. No fucking way. Way. 2 whole buttons, she laughs. So much cleavage. Why, Scarlett, you little... I really think it's weird you think I'm some prude just because I got into an argument with your teammates. Honestly, I'm sure it had a lot to do with what you were wearing. They're morons. Her groan is accompanied by a dramatic eye roll. I'm burning that sweater when I get home. Yeah? Heck no, she scoffs. I love that stupid thing.
3rd Friday. The Friday where I feed him and give up trying to stay away from Jock Rowe. Scarlett. Don't you freeze your ass off out here? Tess's heels click along the pavement, the strappy, impractical kind she has trouble walking in because they are impractically high. I personally would never be caught dead in anything other than a wedge, but who am I to judge? I shamelessly wore an ugly sweater to one of the hottest party spots on campus. It's only 2 short blocks from Tessa and Cameron's apartment complex to Jock Rowe, but it's taken us more than 20 minutes because of their ridiculous shoes. At this rate, the party will be over by the time we get there. Nonetheless, we trudge along. Why does he keep making you stay outside? Cameron wants to know. I'm not sure, I admit. But then again, I haven't asked. Nor do I care. Explain again, why do you keep going back? Duh! Because Rowdy Wade is freaking hot, that's why, as if she needs any other reason. Tessa's ankle twists on a crack in the sidewalk, and she slows her pace. I'd sit outside on the front porch with him, too, if I had the chance. I would, too, but I guess I just don't get why the captain of the team is okay sitting outside on the porch. Maybe he wants Scarlett all to himself. Tessa's theory makes me blush. Face hot as Hades, cold air notwithstanding. I hear he's single, Tess adds. Like, super single. Has he hit on you? Cameron wants to know. I don't think so. Cameron stops in the middle of the sidewalk, grabbing my upper arm with her hot pink talons. Well, what would you do if he did? Maybe we should roleplay just in case. Fantastic idea, Cam, Tessa enthuses. Scarlett, pretend I'm Rowdy and I invite you back to my house. What do you say? I'd ask what we were going to do there. She makes a buzzing sound. Wrong! You never want to be the one doing the walk of shame. Make him do it. So I invite him to my place instead? Exactly. These two, I swear. What did the two of you do on the porch anyway? Cam shoots me a sidelong glance, focusing on not stepping on any cracks in the sidewalk. I don't know, a little bit of everything. We play games. What's he like? Like, what are his hobbies and stuff? Cameron wants to know. Why, are you collecting data so you can stalk him? I tease. No, but maybe if you got a little more personal, you'd... Tessa cuts her off. Cameron, stop. She'll figure it out on her own. But we have been getting personal, the deeper into never have I ever we got. I learned he's broken his arm twice, and neither time was while playing baseball. He's never gone skydiving, but it's first on his fuck it list. Once he dumped a girl he really liked because his friends dared him to, and it was over the phone, then felt so terrible he wrote her a letter. He's run red lights, almost been arrested for disorderly conduct, and his parents locked him out of the house once to punish him when he was 2 hours late for curfew. He sobbed on the steps like a baby for a solid half an hour before they let him in. He was 17. So you have a crush on him, Cameron confirms. Yes. Yes. I keep coming back because it's entertaining. Is that so wrong? I think we're becoming friends? Is that weird? I hate sounding so insecure, but I haven't hung out with these two in an entire year, and I'm not about to go spilling all my well-guarded secrets, no matter how well they have me pegged. I make a mental note to spend more time with them during the week instead of just hitting parties on the weekends. Really get to know them again. I want to be a better friend, not just their third wheel. Friends to lovers? If I blush any deeper, I'll spontaneously combust and burn myself right out of this thick jacket. No, Tessa, not friends to lovers. Rowdy Wade is way out of my league. Cameron snorts. No, he's not. You're fucking adorable. Adorable. Great. I'm sure cute and adorable are exactly his type. Cameron says it with such conviction I believe her. I believe she actually thinks Rowdy Wade could like me. The butterflies in my stomach awaken as the baseball house comes into view. First, they roll, stretching. Then, on delicate wings of hope, they begin fluttering, dancing. Baby steps. Little by little, one at a time. And then suddenly, there he is. Rowdy watches as we approach, removing his hands from the pockets of his thick black jacket and placing them on the railing of the porch. He leans over, braced himself on his elbows, green eyes wrinkled at the corner, amused, watching us. Watching me. Damn him and his insane level of attractiveness, charisma, and charm. My knees protest, giving a tiny wobble when he smiles.
Ladies, he greets us. Scarlet.
Tessa and Cameron do their best to hoof it up the stairs in their heels, toward the beat of the music, loud noise, and the smell of flowing alcohol.
Come here often.
Rowdy teases when my first foot hits the bottom of the staircase leading up to the house. Har har. My feet gingerly take each step one by one until I reach the top. Tessa and Cam are understandably fascinated with our easy exchange. They hesitate by the front door, waiting for me, though their hungry eyes are locked on Rowdy. Aggravated by their obviousness, I wave them off, shooing them inside. You go on ahead. Give me a second.
Make it a few hours.
Rowdy coughs into his fist, masking his words like boys did in middle school, juvenile and immature. My friends hesitate. Are you sure you don't want us to wait with you? This is the first time they ask, and I'm unexpectedly heartened. No, you go ahead. Have fun. I'll text you if he won't let me in. All right, let us know this time, okay? It's so cold out here. Tessa chatters her teeth dramatically, cueing the need for them to hustle inside, both of their gorgeous blonde heads disappearing from sight with the slamming of a screen door. Rowdy and I stand wordlessly, listening to the noises from within at the same time my butterflies flap their pesky wings. I inhale an anxious breath, wondering what he's going to say when he finally speaks. Exhale, watching the small puff of steam float away. His mouth opens.
3 weeks in a row, eh?
Rowdy clasps his hands.
I can't decide which one of us is a bigger glutton for punishment, can you?
It's definitely you, I laugh. We both know you could easily assign someone to babysit me. It doesn't have to be you. But I'm glad it is him. I wouldn't have shown up if I thought it was anyone else, and I certainly wouldn't have stayed. Not in this weather. I'm not a total sadist. I've looked forward to seeing him every Friday since we met. Rowdy is goofy and entertaining and witty, not to mention his handsome face and ridiculous body. It's no hardship being sequestered on the porch with him, and if he took me inside right now, I'd be indisputably disappointed. He's wearing a hat tonight, too, black knit in a style similar to mine, pulled down over his ears, and short, shorn hair. Rowdy is masculine, even with that winter hat on his head. He gives me a gentle bump with his shoulder when I reach the top of the porch. Where did you find that hat? I ask, setting my tote bag on the ground, same as I did last Friday, and same as I'll probably do next Friday.
Bought it?
When? He's still for a few heartbeats.
Yesterday.
We kind of match, I point out, poking the air with my mitten, tilting my head to study him. He shifts on his heels.
I'm surprised you showed up again. You were like a puppy dog that keeps getting kicked but comes back for more.
That is an appalling analogy,
but accurate,
he counters. Be honest, you're not one bit surprised to see me here. You bought a hat so you'd be warm too. My heart skips a few rhythms, hands go to my hips, sinking into my puffy coat. I wave my mitten around. You should know by now I can't resist a challenge. He leans against the house, a cocky lift to his lips.
You consider me a challenge?
No, I consider getting inside the house a challenge.
Is that the only reason you keep coming back?
It's cold and we're both breathing hard, our breaths mingling in gray swirls, shoulders knocking every few footsteps. What other reason would I have? I hold my breath, waiting for him to reply. When he doesn't, I make a little humming sound, aware that each beat of my traitorous heart is pounding in my chest, my throat.
I'm not a mind reader, Scarlett. If there's another reason you come here every Friday night, you'll have to spell it out for me. Spell it out for me.
We size each other up, like two gunslingers reaching for their six-shooters, neither willing to bend. I don't know what he wants me to say, and I refuse to be the first one to admit to whatever this is I'm feeling. It's way too soon. It's strangely silent then, the stereo momentarily cutting off inside the house. Voices die down. The indelicate sound of Rowdy's snarling stomach breaks the spell of our stare-down. Seriously, does this guy not eat enough during dinner? You know what I have for you?
There are about 5 different ways I could answer that.
He eyes my bag.
But please tell me you brought food.
If I was a peacock, I'd be fluffing my brilliant feathers about now with what I'm about to present to him. Not only did I bring food, I brought the good stuff. I unzip my tote, glancing up at him coyly. Any guesses?
Spaghetti and meatballs?
I glare at him. Are you trying to make me gag?
I get delirious when I'm hungry. You already know this.
When aren't you hungry?
Never not hungry, but I'm not always hungry for food.
Startled, my mouth falls open, and I gape at him like a fool. It's the first innuendo he's made toward me, and I hardly know what to do with it. Out of curiosity, I stammer, are you planning on waiting outside for me every Friday?
Only until you can come inside that house.
And when will that be?
He shrugs. Don't know.
I finger the plastic utensils inside my bag. What if I decide not to come? How long would you be willing to wait for me to show up?
5 minutes.
Liar. Try again, or I'm not showing you what's in here.
I don't know, Scarlett. 8 minutes.
My brows rise doubtfully at how specific the time is, and he rolls those big, beautiful green eyes at me.
Fine. I'd wait an hour.
Pause.
Maybe a little longer if I knew for sure you were going to show up.
He'd wait an hour for me? That's an eternity in college guy years. Satisfied, I dig out 2 white cardboard containers of Chinese takeout, still piping hot, fresh from the joint down the road. I had it delivered right before leaving the house, the rice and chicken and noodles heating my hip on the walk over. If Tessa or Cameron noticed the smell, neither of them mentioned it. Rowdy's eyes damn near bug out of his skull, he's so excited.
You have got to be shitting me. Are you serious? Scarlett, you're fucking awesome.
I blush beneath my winter jacket, smiling inside the collar, yet I hold the carton of Asian noodles hostage out of his reach. You can have this when you tell me how you knew I'd be here tonight. He's desperate, so he folds like a house of cards in a soft breeze.
I sat next to the window like a damn dog waiting for its owner to come home. Now gimme.
I removed my mittens before digging in my bag of tricks, so our fingers touch when I hand him the food, eyes locking before I pull away, brushing away an invisible lock of hair against my cheek.
Staring out the window like a goddamn puppy.
He shoves a forkful into his mouth, grumbling. Good boy. I reach over and pat him on the shoulder. I hope you like General Tso's chicken. I wasn't sure, so I just brought 2 of my favorites.
I'd eat anything, including the ass out of a dead skunk. This is perfection.
This whole night is perfection, and if it was something other than what it is, tonight would have been the perfect date. We eat in silence as I mull over what the ass of a dead skunk might taste like, and where the hell he comes up with his analogies, and how he had the balls to eat meatballs out of a dumpster.
Oh, shit, he laments. I'm the worst host.
Rowdy stands, dragging the cooler closer to the stairs, patting the top with the palm of his hand, cajoling.
Here, have a seat.
I plop down, container in my lap, steam rising into the night air, forking the noodles into my mouth.
What's that you're eating?
He's staring rudely into my container, making love to it with his wanton gaze. Shrimp lo mein? Rowdy licks his lips, interested.
Would it be uncouth of me to suggest a trade?
Uncouth? Honestly, what guy talks like that? You want to trade? Now?
Not right now. You eat half of yours, and I'll eat half of mine, and then we'll switch.
You're not afraid of germs? One thick brow goes up, along with the right side of his pouty lips.
Remember that story about how I ate meatballs out of a dumpster?
The visual will linger in my mind forever.
I'm clean, promise.
Two of his fingers get lifted in the air.
STD and drug-free, tested monthly.
My God, I laugh, choking. Wave my hands around for air, dying dramatically. Water! Water!
Watch your back, I might let you choke.
I'm not hungry. I shoot him a glare, still coughing. You, cough, are, cough, the worst. Cough.
So you keep pointing out.
He sees an opportunity, seizing it to capitalize on my weakness, grabbing my carton as I hunch over on the cooler, choking and laughing and gasping for breath. Stabs his fork into my lo mein, piercing a shrimp and popping it into his fat face. You horse's ass, give me back my dinner! I can't even swat at him, I'm laughing so hard, eyes watering. Rowdy pushes at my forehead to keep me at bay, to keep me from grabbing my dinner back like an annoying older brother, the palm of his giant hand singeing my skin. I can't stop laughing, not even when he tips the container toward his face, shoveling the contents into his open mouth, spilling noodles on his jacket in his haste to beat the clock. It's disgusting. It's hilarious. When he finally comes up for air, his face is a mess, chunks of celery and carrots stuck to his chin, just below his bottom lip. I can't even look at you right now, you're so gross.
I told you I was hungry. I wasn't fucking around.
I'm never bringing you food again. I lie. You have zero manners, and I didn't bring any napkins. I wasn't expecting you to be such a slob. He couldn't care less.
Come on, that was funny.
Maybe this is the reason you're single, I tease, watching as he tries to lick the sauce off his chin, pink tongue darting out. Who would kiss that face?
I'm not single because I have bad manners, and trust me, plenty of girls have wanted to do more than kiss this face.
Sadly, he's not even bragging. He's just stating a fact, and we both know it. Everyone knows jocks make bad boyfriends.
What the hell would make you say that?
His head gives a sad little shake at the same time he stuffs more noodles into his waiting mouth.
Where are you getting your facts?
The power of observation.
Fact. Plenty of those guys inside are in relationships.
My brows go up, interested. Is that so?
Well, no. He laughs, but that doesn't mean they'd make shitty boyfriends.
I smack his arm, palm lingering on his forearm. If you had to guess how many guys on the baseball team were in actual committed relationships, how many would you say it was? Ballpark it.
Ha ha, very punny.
He tosses his white carton into a giant garbage can at the end of the porch, trying to grab mine back.
I don't know, 5?
My laugh cuts into the dark, clear as a bell, rising above the sound of the music from inside the house. Out of how many players?
30?
Well, I smirk, digging my plastic fork into the white container, digging around for what's left of my noodles. You are pretty damn adorable, I'll give you that. Rowdy cups his ear with his giant man hand to better hear me with.
Say again, talk into my good ear.
I demur, avoiding his blazing green eyes. Say what again?
You just admitted you think I'm sexy.
I never called you sexy. I laugh, nudge him in the bicep when he scoots closer on the cooler beside me, taking up most of the space with his massive thighs. They burn holes into the legs of my pants, from the tops of my thighs down to my ankles. Zing! Sizzle. Your mama better get you to the otolaryngologist and have your hearing checked. I said you were adorable. God, you and your giant inflated ego. I'm surprised you haven't drifted off into the clouds.
I'm sorry, but I cannot see the difference between adorable and sexy.
I mean, really, how does a person not roll their eyes at him a million times?
I think you're adorable.
He's leaning forward, hands braced on his knees, neck craned toward me, green eyes unflinching. Cute adorable or sexy adorable? I almost choke again, holding my breath, waiting for his answer, heart beating so fast I actually lose oxygen. His nostrils flare.
Scarlet.
But we're interrupted, just like in every cliché movie where two people sharing Chinese takeout who are about to kiss for the first time in the freezing cold always are. Two girls push through the front door, and for a split second I think it's Tessa and Cam. It's not. Both girls are decked out in high heels and short dresses, way too skimpy for the cold pre-winter weather we've been having, and I bury myself deeper into my puffy coat, self-conscious. These girls are blatantly flaunting their sexuality, while I'm bundled up like I'm waiting for the blizzard of the century to hit town, holding a steaming pile of carbs with a side of soy sauce. Slightly embarrassed for the first time in 3 weeks, I pull at my gray knit cap, annoyed that I even care, that I'm having insecure thoughts in the first place. It's so unlike me. One of the girls, she's beautiful and willowy and aggressive, if her stance is any indication, stops when she sees Rowdy, jutting out her hip, posing, toe of her high heel pointed at the floor. "How's it going, Rowdy?" She's chewing gum and lets it snap. He takes a few seconds to reply, whole demeanor changing.
Vanessa, right?
She nods, pleased when Rowdy spares her a glance, flipping her platinum blonde locks to one side, posturing.
You inside with Levinson?
He asks the question slowly, deliberately. Vanessa's red-lipped, self-righteous smile falters, fades like the ombre tips of her hair. Yeah. I dig into my Chinese food with my fork, pretending not to listen. But if I were a GIF, I'd be the Michael Jackson eating popcorn in a movie theater one, so engrossed am I. Rowdy shifts on our makeshift bench, his thigh pressing tighter alongside mine. It's thick and warm and right there, touching me. He covers my hand with his, stealing away my fork, eyes never leaving Vanessa's face as he delivers his next line.
Want me to tell his girlfriend you say hello? She's out of town with the cheer team, but you already knew that, didn't you?
Stabs my fork into a shrimp, lifting it to his lips with a wolfish smirk. Jesus. Her dark lips part, throat chuffs. You were such a dick. Vanessa grabs her friend by the arm, dragging her toward the steps, hightailing it down the stairs, lumbering on their perilously unsteady shoes. Only when they're finally out of sight do I speak. Wow, I steal back my fork. You really go for the jugular. He shrugs, brushes his jacket against mine, the two fabrics scratching together.
The dude Vanessa is fooling around with has a fucking girlfriend. I can't stand girls like that. She pisses me off.
He's the one cheating. The glare he gives me is sharp.
Right, but she knows his girlfriend personally and just keeps on fucking him. That's what pisses me off. No loyalty.
I jab a shrimp into my mouth, chewing as he continues, venting.
I really fucking like Holly. I just wish she'd wise up and dump Levinson's useless ass.
Why doesn't she? He pauses, leveling me with a blank stare.
Seriously, Scarlet? Why do you think?
Why is he staring at me like that? What did I say? I ask in a small voice.
Levinson is going to the major leagues. Holly is never going to dump him. He's her golden ticket to WAG status. Everyone knows it.
I feel my mouth turn downward into a frown. I don't know what that means.
You don't know what a WAG is? God, you're so naively sweet.
He pinches a thumb over his shoulder toward the two girls who just walked off.
Why do you think that girl Vanessa is all over Levinson's jockstrap? He's not even that fucking great. Gold digger. What do you think your friends keep coming back for week after week? Gold diggers. Some of them are lucky enough to get themselves knocked up, meal ticket for life in the form of child support payments.
Girls get pregnant on purpose? I sound appalled because I genuinely am.
Haven't you ever heard the stories about girls poking holes into condoms?
No?
Yeah, well.
More food gets shoveled into his mouth from my container. He chews, I chew. We both swallow. Rowdy takes a swig of beer, washing it all down, while I take a chug of my water. Then,
"That's the way it goes around here."
that's really depressing. I pause, trying to catch a glimpse of his profile. Doesn't it get old?
"Real fast."
He stabs his fork into the rice.
"Why do you think I moved out of this house?"
You don't live here?
"Nope."
Why did I think you did? Rowdy stands, walking to the edge of the porch, peering off into the yard, though it's hard to make out anything past the street. He speaks with his back to me, hands braced on the banister rail.
"Communal living is fine when you're a freshman or sophomore. But athletes on this row party a little too fucking hard. The random people hanging out at all fucking hours of the night are fun for one hot minute. The noise and, well, all the bullshit that comes along with living here, not fun. Not anymore."
He turns, raking his gaze over me, scanning me from head to toe, from the ankles of my brown boots to the long tips of my glossy hair, half hidden under my gray winter hat.
"What about you?"
He wants to know. I don't live here either. It takes him a few moments to get my joke, but when he does, his head tips back and he laughs, his chiseled jaw an Adam's apple, absolute male perfection.
"You're a real wise ass."
His smile is warm, and I catch him biting his bottom lip when he turns back toward the street. Loud laughter is amplified when the door to the house flies open again, the music spilling into our perfect moment like toxic waste, along with a small group of co-eds. The inebriated group stumbles to the stairs, hanging on to each other, raucous laughter, barely making it to the bottom without breaking their necks, barely making it to the sidewalk still standing. I'm half expecting some of them to begin crawling. Rowdy frowns under the dim porch lights, his eyes trailing their movements, watching them warily.
"This is the shit I'm talking about."
I can barely hear him. Don't you guys get busted having parties all the time? I ask his back.
"Sometimes."
His broad shoulders move up and down.
"But mostly no."
How? I mean, the music is so loud.
"Who's going to call the cops on us, Scarlett? The rugby house next door? The football players across the street?"
He leans toward me, reaching with his long limbs, stretching until he reaches me, pilfering my bottle of water, chugs it. I watch, riveted, as the corded muscles of his tan throat work the water down, only glancing away when he swallows, crushes the plastic bottle between his two hands.
"The other teams party like this when it's their off-season, too."
Makes sense. Who wouldn't? You guys work hard. My eyes hit the house across the street. Its dim lights shining through the windows, but otherwise little activity.
"That house across the street you're staring at?"
he asks.
10 football players live there.
10? How can that possibly be? The place is tiny. I continue to study the pitch-black house. Seems quiet to me.
"'Cause half of them are inside this house, probably shit-faced. We're going to have to physically take some of them home later. The other half are obeying their curfew."
What about you?
"What about me?"
What kind of player are you? A rule breaker, or do you—
"Play by the rules?"
Pause.
"You'll be surprised to learn, Scarlett."
I smile, relishing the sound of my name on his lips.
"That as team captain, it's my obligation to set a good example for the rest of my team, especially for the incoming freshmen and walk-on players."
Sounds noble.
"It's not all shits and gigs. Their responsibility blows."
I study him, trying to read his face, handing him a fresh bottle of water and cracking open one for myself.
"Never have I ever broken a rule and lied about it."
He studies me back, lifting the bottle to his mouth and taking a healthy gulp. Which one? I want to know.
"I used to break curfew a lot when I was a freshman. A lot. And a few times I helped sneak girls into the hotel during away games. We call that road sex, by the way."
There's a long pause as he considers his numerous infractions.
"Sometimes we go out drinking during the season when we're not supposed to."
Not supposed to? I thought it was a free-for-all. The shaking of his head indicates the contrary.
"We're given 1 night a week to go out."
Just one? I didn't know that.
Yeah, usually it's a Saturday.
He makes a box with his hands, using his fingers to create the corners.
See, if our coaches don't give us structure, some guys, geez, they just fucking cannot handle playing at this level. It's like when the teacher would leave the room in grade school. Total chaos. The notoriety, the crowds, drugs, sex, booze. It's a lot to handle.
I never thought of it that way. Rowdy sets his water bottle on the railing, balancing it there, twirling the top until it spins.
Never have I ever had a wet dream.
Dude, what the hell? I sputter. Where did that one come from? Give a girl a little warning, why don't ya?
Well, have you?
Can girls have a wet dream? They don't even have the necessary equipment.
You tell me.
I roll my eyes for lack of a better, more mature reaction, taking a slow sip from my water bottle. Rowdy watches intently from his perch on the railing, swallowing down the last of his water. Just to clarify, we're not going to start talking dirty. No good can come of that. I don't know if my heart can handle anything casual, and sex talk will only leave me feeling vulnerable.
Why not?
Because once we go down that road, things are going to get weird. Trust me.
How so?
I read it somewhere in an article.
Reading is bad. You should stop.
He clicks his tongue.
So, what you're telling me is you don't sit around talking pervy with your friends?
I shoot him a look. His sheepish grin does not bode well for me.
Never have I ever talked like a pervert with my friends.
He chugs. I chug. Wipe my mouth. Stop doing that. He laughs.
Never have I ever watched porn alone in my room.
Would you stop? We both drink.
We need to start drinking alcohol when we play this game. It would be way more fun, and imagine how drunk we'd be.
It really would be. I have a feeling you're going to be a horrible influence, Rowdy Wade.
I might be a bad influence, but you obviously like it, and I doubt you'd be coming back every Friday if you didn't like the thrill of being rejected.
I don't tell him I come back to see him, that I don't feel rejected. I feel excited. I anticipate each day of the week as they fall away, leading to my new favorite day of the week, Friday. No, I don't feel the thrill of rejection. I feel the thrill of being with him on this porch.
It really does make sense if you think about it. You've been told a few times you're not allowed in the house, yet here you are for the third week in a row. Admit it, you like the element of being somewhere you're not supposed to be. It's kind of like breaking and entering.
What are you, a psych major? I joke.
Yes.
For real?
Oh, yeah. I'm a huge fan of Freud. Huge.
Rowdy's huge biceps bulge when he sticks his hands beneath his armpits, arms still crossed.
What about you? What's your major?
Marine biology.
For real? That's pretty fucking cool. Too bad you're in Iowa.
Which is basically the same reaction I get from anyone I tell. I realize that, Rowdy. It would be great if I was near an ocean, but I didn't get accepted anywhere on a coastline, not even close. Of course, I don't tell this to Rowdy. His mouth curls into a smile, hands still in his pits.
What's your favorite sea creature?
Coral. His brows furrow as his head draws back.
How is that a sea creature?
Coral is alive, I enthuse passionately, and it's so beautiful. Have you ever been scuba diving or snorkeling? Thousands of organisms dwell inside a single reef. I clamp my mouth shut before I word vomit my love for the bottom of the ocean floor.
Like Nemo.
Exactly, I grin. And his father.
And Dory. Man, that fish is whack.
We're grinning at each other like idiots. The easy set of Rowdy's mouth has me clearing my throat, his scrutiny of me intimidating. Suddenly self-conscious, I pick at the hem of my jacket, fiddling with the zipper. Have I mentioned how good-looking he is? Especially when he's focused. And right now he's focusing all his attention on me. I should probably go. I move to stand up, hand ready to push off the wooden porch. It's getting so cold. His next question pins me back down, and my ass hits the floor again.
Doesn't it bother you that your friends leave you out here?
You seem really fixated on this. No, my friends do not leave me out here. They make themselves scarce so I can be alone with him.
I'm not fixating on it. I just want to know that you're not completely shit on.
Why? Are you feeling protective? I try to make a joke, but it falls flat, his mouth still pressed in a straight line. Damn. I search for the right words. I'm not going to fault them for loving parties, just like they don't fault me for wearing puffy coats to those parties. He can't tell if I'm being serious or a smartass.
Remind me where you met them?
The dorms. I pick at a loose strand of yarn on my mittens. My best friends from home are at other schools. You know how that is. I don't get to see them unless it's a holiday or whatever. I do have friends from my classes, but they do lots of studying, which is what I should be doing more of if I want to improve my grades.
Do you think those friends of yours inside realize they're wasting their time with my teammates?
He muses, chewing the mouthpiece of his water bottle. What do you mean?
Derek and Ben? Brinkman? They might be pricks, but they can smell a gold digger from a mile away. No offense, but those girls you came with reek of desperation.
His smile is lazy as the bottle hits his lips. Lopsided grin, eyes hooded. He looks sated.
Not like you.
What about me? The butterflies in my stomach flutter their wings. He shrugs.
I couldn't figure out what you were doing with those two. They're not even close to being in the same league as you.
Did you just imply that I'm classy?
Why is that so hard to believe?
I readjust myself, trying to get more comfortable on the hard ground, repositioning my legs. You know, when the three of us were freshmen, we used to have way more fun. It wasn't about guys and parties and hooking up.
What'd you do? Have, like, slumber parties and shit?
Something like that. I laugh, biting back my smile, pausing with a new train of thought. You know what I couldn't stop thinking about when Ben and Derek were hitting on my friends?
What?
All I could think about was what it would be like to date them. They were so boring, no personalities.
How so?
Ben kept lying about the dumbest shit, like winning the title for the College World Series, and his pickup lines were so terrible, even I knew the punchlines. Zero effort. Do you know what that tells me, Rowdy Wade? Rowdy shifts on the railing.
What does that tell you?
He's going to be selfish in bed. At this point, I'm wishing I'd gone with a beer instead of water. I bet he's not a giver. Rowdy chokes a little on his water.
Come again?
My arms cross and I smirk at his pun. Come again. Giggling into the collar of my coat because occasionally I'm as juvenile as a 15-year-old boy. I'd rather date someone good in bed, wouldn't you? It's a rhetorical question I don't expect him to answer. Derek and Ben are blah. Total nail and bail. I drop the line casually, as if I deliver quips like this all the time. I don't. I just want to see the look on his face. Rowdy Wade does not disappoint. His poker face sucks, and he'd be an awful card partner in Vegas. His eyes are too wide, obviously shocked. His brows, once a neutral line, are now shot up in his hairline. My nose wrinkles at the thought of that Derek kid in bed, and I stifle a snort, satisfied that I've managed to surprise Rowdy. What?
I can't believe you just said that.
Nail and bail? My expression is pure innocence. You've never heard it? It's like a pump and dump, you know, a one-night stand. His laugh is almost maniacal.
Oh, you don't have to explain it to me. I've heard of them, all right. I'm just surprised you're saying it. You seem so...
I lean toward him, curious. I'm what?
You seem like you're, you know, someone with strong morals.
That's true. I lean back, pleased I've managed to surprise him with my foul mouth. I do have strong morals. That doesn't mean I can't throw down a few trashy catchphrases.
I mean, you seem like the kind of girl who's saving.
What do you mean? I'm not saving myself. I just haven't found anyone I wanted to lose my virginity to, although I did come close after senior prom in high school. He was cute and we'd been casually dating, so I let him rent a hotel room and plan the whole thing. Things went south when he tried to get me drunk. So gentlemanly. And instead, we ended up fighting about all the liquor and condoms he'd brought. Fun fact about me, I'm a virgin. All my pleasure parts are intact, never been breached, unfortunately. Though one thing is for certain, I'm most definitely not saving myself for marriage. I just haven't found anyone worthy of my V-card. Silently, Rowdy watches the wheels spinning inside my head, content to watch me think, to watch as I stew over the lack of orgasms in my life that aren't self-induced. You're right. My shoulders rise and fall nonchalantly. Maybe I am saving myself. I'm saving myself for a connection. I want to feel good about my decision after I make it, not regret it. So until Mr. No Regrets comes along...
Mr. No Regrets, he repeats. Wonder what he looks like.
He looks like you. He looks like Rowdy, and I don't even know what his real name is. A discontented noise rises from my throat, much like a humph. So I clear it, deploying my dimple on him, twiddle my thumbs between my bent knees. You know what I'd like to know? I muse. Your first name. For a few seconds, while the music is changing inside, we have utter quiet. Quiet while he rises to his full height, taking a few calculated steps in my direction. It's a short jaunt, and then he crouches, plucking the empty water bottle out of my hand, still squatting when he lobs it. Tosses the bottle so it's soaring in an arch to the garbage. Hits the back of the can, bounces, and disappears inside with a swoosh. Knees bent, Rowdy squats in front of me, getting in nice and close, a mere 3 inches from my face, warm breath blowing on my lips. All his features are shadowed by the dark.
Promise not to tell.
His deep voice is a conspiratorial whisper. Is it a secret? He shakes his head. No. I swallow the lump in my throat, giving him a cheeky, "It's not all over the internet?" This time he nods, his white teeth playing peekaboo through his lips.
Yeah, it is all over the internet, but it appears you are the only one who hasn't looked it up.
I'm looking for it now.
I can see that.
And he can, so up close and personal, breath fanning against my skin. I can smell the beer he had earlier, and the cold pre-winter air clinging to his skin.
It's Sterling.
Sterling, I say back breathlessly, unable to stop myself. I repeat it to myself, romanticizing the sound of it. Sterling. Yes, he looks like a Sterling. It's a strong, masculine name, moody and kind of dreamy, the name of the hero in a romance novel. Sexy, meant for low moans and breathless sighs in the bedroom. Rawr. Is that what you want me to call you?
You don't have to.
Unless you want to. He doesn't speak that last part out loud, but somehow I know that's what he means. I squirm on the ground as he remains crouched in front of me, legs parted, hands hanging between his thighs, balancing on his haunches. Blood rushes through every vein in my body, nerves vibrating, when he tucks a knuckle under my chin to lift my gaze and caress the side of my jaw with his giant thumb. "What are you doing?" I whisper.
I don't know.
Out of the corner of my eye, I catch sight of the wooden swing at the end of the porch swaying in the gentle breeze. Back and forth, creaking. It's old, suspended by rickety, rusty chains, the paint having worn off many years ago and never been refinished. I break the moment, damned if I don't because my nerves are freaking the frack out, unprepared for this heated moment. Want to help me up? My voice quivers. I'm going to hop on the swing. Rowdy rises, extending his large, open palm toward me. And before taking it, I study the pads of his fingers. Rough, calloused, and sturdy. The hands of someone who works hard, who pushes. I slide my hand across the sensitive skin there, hooking my thumb around his, and he pulls with an undemanding tug until I'm standing on 2 feet. Sizzle. Zing. I shiver. Thanks. He silently stares down at our clasped palms, squeezes my petite palm in his mammoth one, and I note the contrast in our skin. Dark and light, rough and soft. Then he pulls me to the swing. Together we plop down, my feet just barely touching the ground, and with some effort I give it a nudge with the toe of my brown boot. Where are you from? I'm insatiably curious about him. Florida. Florida? I almost shout. The Atlantic Ocean, sand, sun, sea life, coral and clownfish. I give him a shy glance, brushing back a lock of hair. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell.
Right, I get it.
He laces our fingers together and I want to die.
You and your ocean fixation. If you said you grew up at Dodger Stadium, I'd have yelled too.
Cute. I bite back a smile, teeth tugging on my bottom lip, watching as my feet hit the floorboards, giving the swing yet another boost.
What about you? Where are you from?
He asks in kind, shooting me a sidelong glance, examining my profile. I can feel him skimming the side of my face, so I force my eyes straight ahead, cheeks burning. I'm from here, about 2.5 hours north. I guess that makes me local? Here is Iowa. Long stretches of highway and soybean fields. Corn. Landlocked. Why didn't you stay in Florida? I ask the night sky, searching out the stars among clusters of gray clouds. Isn't their baseball program decent? Better than decent, it's phenomenal. I've heard my dad wax poetic about it a dozen times when my family expected me to attend FSU.
Tallahassee? Yeah, they're decent.
He's being modest. The university is top 5 for baseball in the nation.
But they didn't offer me enough to play there.
What part of Florida are you from?
Tallahassee.
He chuckles ruefully. It's throaty and deep. So deep and sensual. I'm grateful for the shadows shielding the heat creeping up my cheeks, and the noises from inside the house drowning out the sound of my beating heart. You wanted to get the hell out of there, huh?
Basically. Growing up in a college town and staying in that college town, they couldn't have offered me enough to stay, in all honesty. My mom would have been dropping in every damn weekend to bring me care packages and shit.
I know, but... Florida. My whispered sigh is dreamy and wistful. Sun and sand and swimsuits.
When you whisper the word like that, it's creepy.
He laughs and I bump him with my elbow, teasing, flirting.
You've got coral and dolphins and weird shit on the brain.
Guilty. I have him on the brain, too. I still don't understand how anyone could up and leave Florida. I know I sound a little over the top, but I don't care. I'd give anything to live by the coast, near the wide open sea, the waves.
Because it's hot and crowded, and everywhere you go it's filled with annoying tourists or snowbirds in town for the winter.
He nudges the swing forward when it slows. That cannot be the reason you aren't going there. I know I'm repeating myself, but who in their right mind passes up a scholarship to FSU? An insane person, that's who. I didn't get accepted anywhere interesting, just Iowa, Iowa State, a school in Wisconsin, and one stuck between Minnesota and North Dakota. No whales, no water.
It's not the only reason, obviously. When I came to Iowa for a visit, I really clicked with the team. Their camaraderie game is strong. The facilities here are new, totally sick, and, I don't know, it felt like the best decision for me at the time.
At the time? And now?
Now I only regret the decision when we lose.
He laughs, laying our joined hands on his hard thigh. I look down at it, studying the dark hair sprinkled across his knuckles, which I can just make out in the light from the porch lanterns. I swallow, blinking up at the moon. The Midwest isn't exactly an epicenter of activity. I can't help pointing out, voice shaking a little. Damn it. Don't you get bored here?
Maybe a little, but I really love this campus. It's pretty damn gorgeous. We don't have buildings like this in the South.
Quietly, I mentally list all the reasons he should have gone to school in his home state. In-state tuition, the beach, Disney World, year-round sunshine, the beach, hurricanes. Shit. Did I say that stuff out loud?
Just some of it.
He laughed softly.
You murmured it, really.
I looked toward the house, watching through the windows, looking at everyone inside, laughing and drinking and having fun. A few denim-clad asses are pressed against the glass, and within, people dancing to the thumping, upbeat soundtrack. It's a loud, bumping bass, and not at all my taste in music. I don't miss the party one bit. I'm rather content to sit out here with Rowdy, Sterling, and learn more about him. So what position do you play?
Shortstop.
Are you any good?
I got 23 full-ride scholarship offers.
Holy shit, does that actually happen to people? I haven't come and watched the team play yet. Baseball is more my dad's thing than mine, I confess sheepishly. Beside me, his wide shoulders give a casual shrug.
Usually girls come to the games for one of two reasons.
He stabs at his forefinger.
1, they're huge fans of the game.
He stabs at his thumb.
Or 2, they're huge fans of the players.
I've always wondered what it would be like playing in front of huge crowds like that. Does it ever make you nervous?
It used to, back when I was freshman, but not anymore.
What's your favorite part of the game?
Winning.
His husky voice informs me, unapologetic. That was always my favorite part, too.
Do you play baseball?
I did, softball through high school. Honestly, it's not really my passion, but I play here, too, in an intramural league. It's something I do. Like I said, my father is obsessed with the game, and when I was little, he signed me up for every recreational team our town had. Coached a few of them, too.
No fucking way. What position?
Third base, usually, depending on who shows up.
Are you any good?
Let me put it this way. I was offered 0 full-ride scholarships. Rowdy's laugh is loud, punctuating the crisp night air like an exclamation point, his feet pumping the swing below our asses, making the chains creak. When does your season start?
After the winter break, we start practicing, then we have a few preseason games.
January. Are you really a psych major? You weren't kidding? Lord, where are all these questions coming from?
Yes, I'm really a psych major. If I don't play baseball professionally, I'll get my master's and doctorate.
Rowdy dips his head almost timidly, inspecting the ground as the swing rocks back and forth.
Maybe you should let me evaluate you for science.
I don't know how he does it, but Rowdy twists his impressive form toward me, curling a leg under himself, unclasping our hands and draping an arm lazily on the back of the swing. Drums his fingers on the wood, green gaze learning all the lines in my face. This is why I keep coming back. This moment right here. The intense way he's watching me right now, like I'm pretty and interesting, even in these ridiculous clothes. The way his deep voice vibrates in my chest and awakens those damn butterflies every time he speaks. His easy laugh, his disarming smile, and the delicious way he smells, like aftershave in the shower and fresh air. God, he's fascinating, good-looking and funny, and he makes my heart not just pound, but palpitate. Virile and strong, I spent the better part of last evening watching baseball videos of him online for 2 solid hours. 2! Videos of his hand dipping to retrieve a ball for drills infield before a game. Video after video of him gripping a ball with 3 fingers before lobbing it to the pitcher. I watched him study the field under the brim of his dusty black cap, hair sticking up under the brim. Watched him wipe sweat away, ball clenched in his fist. 6 foot 2 inches of sweet, homegrown Florida citrus.
I have a serious question. This is for your psych eval.
I nod, fiddling with my mittens, stomach doing a slow roll. Okay.
If you suddenly found out your internal monologue from the last hour was made audible, how screwed would you be?
So freaking screwed. On a scale of 1 to 10?
Sure,
he draws out, relaxing his chin in the palm of his hand. the one he has perched against the seat back of the swing. Maybe, 12. I don't know, 5? I hold his stare unblinking, unflinching, his eyes narrow. Are you lying? I force my mouth into a straight line. It betrays me. Pfft, no. Yes, you are. His grin is as lazy as his posture. I guess you'll never know, will you? He rolls his eyes at me with a grin, and it's positively endearing. When's the last time you had an indecent thought? 3 minutes ago. I can't remember. Rowdy shakes his head because he knows I'm full of shit. I smile, big and toothy and fake. What about you? Guess you'll never know, will you? He deadpans, parroting me. Damn it. Just tell me, please. I bat my lashes, hoping it looks pretty and not like I have a bug caught in my eye. Last indecent thought. He rubs the scruff on his chin. About half an hour ago. What were we doing 30 minutes ago? When we were eating? Yes, Scarlet. You're so unbelievably sexy when you inhale noodles. Rowdy's lips pucker and he sharply inhales, impersonating my noodle suckage, the sound it makes, and the sour look on my face when I eat them. I cock my head, tapping my chin with the tip of my forefinger. Why, Rowdy Wade, I was going to say the same thing about the way you eat chicken. Nom, nom, nom. I smack my lips like Cookie Monster, then tip my head back, pantomiming the way he dumped the carton into his mouth. You're so goddamn cute right now. He laughs. I was just going to say the same thing about you. I cast my eyes downward, kicking at the ground, afraid to give myself away. You're just saying that because you like food. His hesitation is long. Sure I am. I lift my head. Was that you flirting with me? Do you think I'm flirting with you? Would you stop doing that, answering questions with questions? This Sigmund Freud routine is getting stale. Although it does make me wonder. Are you trying to reverse psychology me into flirting with you? No, but dang, why haven't I thought of that? I'm going to keep that idea in my back pocket. You do that. Slip it right into that back pocket of yours. A few people drift out of the house, screen door banging against the frame with a clatter. I slip my cell out of my coat, waking it to check the time. Nearly midnight. Holy crap. I stop swinging, stretch. I really should get going. Yeah, I should too. Rowdy rises with me, stuffing those big paws into the deep pockets of his jacket. It was really fucking cool that you brought food tonight. I appreciate it. No problem. You need a ride or... No, I'm good. It's not far. I pull at my knit hat, securing it over my ears. You should probably, make sure everything is copacetic inside. All right, then. Both of us are hedging, shuffling our feet. Night, Scarlet. He hesitates. See you next week. I bury my chin inside my coat, bury the fact that I'm grinning. We'll see. We both know I'll be here.
Fourth Friday. The Friday where I put moist things in my mouth. Rowdy. The first female voice drifts down the street at a high volume, and I lean farther over the railing to listen better. Did it occur to you that maybe he's not her type? Why are you nagging at her? Read my lips. You are insane. That boy is everyone's type. Not her type? Are you being serious right now? Rowdy Wade is so fucking hot. That voice is definitely not Scarlett's. If he paid me even the slightest bit of attention, I'd get pregnant just by looking at him. I can't believe you haven't slept with him. Or, the first voice continues, maybe he's just not that into you. God, I love that movie. Yet another voice cuts in, this one distinctively Scarlett's. I bet I've seen it 70 times. Look at you. I swear, Scarlett, you wear shit like that on purpose. It's cold out. Bet Rowdy could keep you warm. Once the clothes come off, it hardly matters what you left the house wearing. Jesus Christ, why are they so loud? If I can hear every word, no doubt the fucking neighbors can too. Nevertheless, I chuckle, listening to the banter coming my direction from down the sidewalk. The girls are loud enough I hear them before I see them, chattering and laughing, declarations echoing down the very quiet street, the usual weekend activity having been moved to a different location. There is no party here tonight. The girls are earlier than usual, clomping down the street in heels, with purpose, shrouded in the dark until they're illuminated under the first set of street lamps. There are 5 of them, all trussed up like miniature streetwalkers. Correction, all but one. One of them stands out in the crowd of tight dresses and high heels. Only one of them isn't heavily made up. All but one stomps in high heels, clicking and determined against the concrete. Scarlett draws in all my attention in her black and white chucks, thick winter coat, and black leggings, tote bag slung over one shoulder. Who would have fucking thought? I stand straighter at the sight of that bag, wondering what's inside. My stomach as interested as my eyes just became. I know it's food because she's too fucking sweet, and I'm excited. The anticipation has my gut rumbling. Scarlett's recognizable laugh rings out for the second time, unabashed and drifting up the block toward the house, making me smile, making me anxiously shake out the palms of my hands. Too much nervous energy, I muse, dismissing the actions. I missed my run this morning, that's all. Nothing else to it. 100 feet, 80, 30 more. Come on, come on. I bounce on the balls of my feet, hands crammed in the pockets of my jeans. 10 feet, 5. Her hair is screwed up into 2 buns atop her head, and as they get even closer, I make out furry earmuffs pulled down over her ears. They're black, the fur wispy, lightly grazing her cheeks. The buns and the earmuffs, a goddamn adorable combination. I could eat her up. My smile broadens. Scarlett is dressed for a trip to the Arctic Circle, clearly not giving a shit what anyone thinks of her. Halting to a stop behind her friends when our eyes finally meet. Stops at the edge of the yard, her tennis shoes stalled at the edge of the walkway, hands hoisting her bag higher on her shoulders. She props it on her hips and stares back, wiggles her brows. My hands come out of hibernation when I lean forward to brace them on the banister railing. One of her friends giggles, high-pitched and way too enthusiastic. "Are you the official welcoming committee now?" Something like that. Everyone, including Scarlett, is giving their attention to the house behind me, obvious confusion falling on their expressions, like fans doing the wave in the stands at a baseball game. And it's no wonder. The lights inside are off, it's eerily quiet, and no one is home. "Where is everyone?" one of the blondes asks, biting down on a hot pink bottom lip. "Why is the house so dark?" I lift my palms with no offering. "No party tonight." Protests of disappointment follow. "But we walked all the way over here, and my feet are already killing me." I interrupt them both. "Party's been moved to the Lambda House, ladies. The night isn't over yet." Someone clears her throat. Another gets nudged in the back, stumbling forward a few feet. "Are you coming out tonight, Rowdy?" the beautiful Latina blurts out, unable to stop herself. "You can walk with us." I glance down at Scarlett to gauge her reaction, our eyes meeting over 4 perfectly coiffed heads. Silently, she and I regard each other, and I can't tell in this light what she could possibly be thinking. "Yeah, I'll walk over with you." I tell myself I'm only doing it to be chivalrous, and because anything can happen between point A and point B, regardless of the safety in numbers system. But the truth is, I don't live in the baseball house, and had no reason to be loitering on the front porch. I don't bother checking to see if the door behind me is locked, or if all the lights are turned off, or if anyone is squatting inside. Instead, I bound down the stairs to Scarlett's side, giving her a playful bump with my shoulder, the contact of our bodies making the pit of my stomach turn over, despite the heavy jacket separating our skin. I shiver and obviously need to check myself, because this shit with her is getting so fucking weird. Shaking off whatever the hell that electric spark was, I help steer the group to the left, down the walkway toward Greek Row. The large houses loom in the foreground, lit up, music so loud the bass can be heard several blocks over. From here, I can see people spilling onto the lawn of the Lambda House, and the desire to head home is strong. "Thanks for waiting for us tonight. You didn't have to," Scarlett finally says, her friends booking it a few feet in front of us with newfound urgency. Not them. You. I waited for you. I didn't have to, but I wanted to. Scarlett would have gotten there, seen there was no party, and within minutes found out where everyone was through the power of social media, like everyone else tonight did when they arrived tonight. I know I didn't have to. Without realizing it, our pace has slackened from a brisk walk to keep up with the group to a slow stroll, and soon we're a good 100 paces behind her friends, almost an entire block separating us, Scarlett's tote bag swinging along with her stride. "What's inside your bag? It's been driving me nuts." "Oh." She perks up, remembering herself. "I made brownies yesterday and wanted to get them out of my house before I ate them all myself." "Liar. You made these for me." Pfft. When she doesn't deny it, goddamn if my heart doesn't flutter. I poke at her bag. "Are you going to make me beg for a taste?" I have to admit, I threw down that innuendo to measure her aversion, grinning when she shoots me a sardonic sideways glance, clamping her lips shut, tempted to retort. Scarlett isn't the conservative she appears to be. I would bet money on it. She just hides it better than others, burying it beneath that damn jacket. I wonder what her body looks like under all those layers. Is she skinny or curvy? Big boobs or flat-chested? Is she shy and modest or self-confident? Jesus, I want to find out so damn bad. No, of course I'm not going to make you beg. Her voice is quiet, barely above a whisper, and husky, like she's having dirty thoughts about me, too. We stop onto the sidewalk so she can rifle through her tote, pulling out a clear Tupperware container with a red lid and handing it to me. I pop the lid, inhaling the smell of rich chocolate. Fuck yeah. I love brownies. Me too. We resume our walk. I bite down into a large square, groaning. God damn, this is good. Thank you. Moist. I can't help adding, just to see what she'll say. Scarlett groans. God, I hate that word. Yeah, I figured. Who doesn't? You hate the word moist? Stop saying it, she says on a laugh, the dimple in her cheek winking at me. I would if these brownies weren't so moist. Her laughter is low as we resume walking, side by side in the dark. You want a bite? Her teeth rake her bottom lip indecisively. I probably shouldn't. Just a little. Here, nibble some of mine. We pause under a streetlight, and I raise my arm, brownie pinched between my fingers, offering her some. Try it, I cajole, pulling back with a warning. Just a bite. Don't hog it all. Scarlett steps closer, leaning in, breath a billow of steam into the cold fall air. Her lips part, teeth nipping at the corner of the chocolate confection, doing her damnedest to avoid my fingers with her mouth. Eyes slide closed. Is right. Her pretty pink tongue darts out, licking her lips. Want more? Scarlett touches her finger to her mouth just then, hesitating. I'm good, but thank you. I've got a whole container of them if you change your mind, I tease, patting the plastic container, riding her hip. Made them last night. I take the opportunity to stuff another chunk into my mouth, teeth hitting a chocolate chip. It melts unhurriedly on my tongue before I swallow. Heaven. So fucking delicious. Wow. Look at all those people, Scarlett mutters, slowing her pace as the Lambda House comes into full view, up front and center of the show. We've rounded the corner, and it seems the whole block has ignited, blazing lights beckoning everyone to the enormous red brick fraternity house. It's located in the middle of the street, a massive monolith with Palladian white columns. The house is so fucking cool it ought to be a crime for those drunken idiots to live here. Scarlett takes a few steps back instead of forward, hands clutching the strap of her tote. You know what? On second thought, I don't think I want to hit a frat party tonight. You don't want to go in? Why not? Rowdy, look at me. She makes a jerky gesture down her torso. Look at my outfit. I am looking at you. And I see nothing wrong with what she's wearing. Nothing